are off. That's a 4-1. Opening roll to Fabio. He gets the early start.
And correctly splits here, splitting his back checker and playing the 13-9. Raj continues with his 6-2. Not many numbers that hit here, but it's straightforward play.
He's been getting off to a great start every match, hasn't he? He comes in, he rolls his dice, he gets what he needs.
Immediately, Fabio slots with the 5 here, and it's 5-6, so he plays this on. So Raj has already got a small lead in this, and he gets this is a nice shot to hit this and bring another builder down. This is an ugly roll for Fabio, 1-6. Raj has got a lot to aim at now. 4-1, so he's going to make the bar point. It's very, very straightforward. And Raj, as we see, has already got a small advantage. Fabio would look to be making an anchor here somewhere, either on the 5 or here we go. This is a fantastic anchor. That's exactly what he wanted at this stage.
And they're playing very quickly in the early stage of the match here, but obviously that's because a lot of the moves are quite simple.
Well, it's interesting. Julian and I have talked about this a lot in terms of when you're playing the first few moves in a backgammon game, you're not going to give away much equity if you get them wrong. It's later on where you give away a lot of equity, isn't it, Jules? So it's important to manage, how much brain cells you're going to burn in these situations.
Yes, and there's still some controversy over which games you should spend the majority of your time on. But there's an American player, Bob Coker, he always reckons you should use most of your time in the early games, and other players reckon you should save your time for the later games when they're worth more in terms of percentage winning chances.
So this is a nice hit for Fabio. Whilst he's come off this anchor, he's managed to hit that checker that Raj had slotted in front of him.
That's quite an interesting idea, because I think the idea of saving your energy, I suppose, again, it's an argument that goes both ways. You can save your energy for later, because if your opponent gets really lucky, or you get really lucky, you won't need to expend it. But then at the same time, maybe you should expend it early so you make sure you actually get the value from it and get to use it.
Yes, as I say, Bob Coker, he made the point that a lot of people try and keep time for a possible DMP game at the end of the match, which is sort of 50% match equity is at stake. So that seems to make sense, but his argument, and I think it's turned out to be true, that the DMP game doesn't actually turn up that much. Most of the time you'll have won or lost the match, depending on what's happened before then.
And actually that's what we saw with Rogers' clock and time management in the last game, that he actually used it perfectly.
Absolutely.
Yes, it looked as though he was getting to be short of time, but he won the match before we got into time trouble.
But both of you in your last match managed your time very well, and it's a key factor in these situations.
Yes, I think to start with, when people use a clock for the first couple of times, they kind of tend to rush the plays and worry too much about the time, but once you've used the clock a few times, you kind of get used to the rate of play that you've got to keep up.
Okay, so Fabio, really important here, he makes this anchor here, which is what he does. It's pretty straightforward. We can see the 4. We're not sure what the other number is. Oh, is it double 4? This is huge. So this will be this is looking at the race now, and it looks pretty quick. Fortunately, we've got Julian with us now, who's one of the quickest pick counters I've ever met, much to my cost on many occasions.
It turns out all the checkers in the outfield seem to match each other equally. So if we just look at the home board, we can see that Raj is actually a few pips behind.
Yes, it looked like Fabio was slightly ahead, so he was right to run out with that double 4. But this is a big roll. He's got double 4. May have taken the lead in terms of the race.
But no one's going to be doubling for a while, because there's this static holding position in the outfield where each of them have got the point 4 away from their opponent.
Now this is interesting. I think I might have played 13-8 here, Jules, wouldn't you?
Yes, it's very important to get the spare on the midpoint into the game, because every now and again you're going to get stuck with that thing there, and you're going to bury checkers waiting to roll that number that will get that guy past your opponent.
I think Fabio was worried about making his 5 point and having some board, but I would have wanted the flexibility there myself.
And that's another double 4.
Wow. And this is exactly what you were talking about just there, Julian. Now we can't move this double 4, this double 4 as efficiently as we'd like to. And it means if you roll another double 4, his board would crash.
Well, it's basically he's got to roll 5 or more. He can't roll 4-1. Can't roll double 1, double 4.
I'm loving the arm gestures for which we're seeing a lot of expression.
It is very animated, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's surprisingly animated at this
Yeah,
stage.
but hard to tell what's happening.
Okay, so Raj obviously can't move any of these the outer checkers he'd like to. So and you see here, so Raj is keeping connectivity here in terms of these blocks he has in field.
And the other thing is, since Raj has actually got his third checker from the midpoint into play, he wants to conserve some sixes so he doesn't have to be the first one to give a shot. So Fabio's got that last checker into play, and like Raj, he's conserving a 6 so he doesn't have to leave shots.
And one of the game plans here, where you've got these two points that are obstructing each other, is both opponents would like to shift one of these points so they only have one of these holding points, so they can manipulate their board and improve their race.
Ideally, the best position you want is for one of your points to hold 2 of your opponents.
Yeah.
But here it's a case, if either of them can clear one of their points, they would be delighted.
Absolutely. And this doesn't look like Raj has got that. I think it's. I don't think he's going to be clearing any points quickly here.
No, it's a question of using his spare 6 really that he's left himself. Of course, he can only do that once.
Yes.
He won't be able to do that again.
Yes, it's a concept people tend to overplay on saving 6s. I've seen many people trying to save 2 or 3 6s, but generally the computer's quite clear that you only need to save 1 6.
And importantly here, Raj hasn't wasted any of his checkers to the 1 or 2 points, so his race is still very effective.
Yes, and the other thing is that sometimes these positions, the reason you're avoiding leaving a shot is because you lose if you get hit. And here the idea is Raj has still got a strong board, so if he gets a hit he'll win, whereas Fabio's board seems to be a bit of a mess.
And with limited flexibility here now.
You know, so if Fabio gets a hit, it might end up that he gets gammoned at the end of it rather than winning.
Well, this 5-3 is awkward.
It is awkward, but I don't think he can leave a shot here because of the strength of the board.
And I think he's made the best of it. Difficult. So, and Raj gets past.
Fantastic. So this is the point we talked about, Julian, about him clearing this point with the first opportunity.
Yes, so now Fabio's got to try and clear one of his points, and hopefully he'll be able to get one from the back point moving so that he leaves an 8 shot, or a 9 shot it is. A 7 shot?
It's a 7 shot.
Yeah. And that's what he's doing now. He's got to do that to get one of those checkers moving. So it's a case of taking the risk now so that you get flexibility later.
So this is a good play for him to put that spare check on his midpoint. It means Raj has only got 6-1, 3-4 and 5-2 and no super jokers. Fabio will always get the opportunity to hit him again. He hits the 7. So now Fabio needs a 5 very quickly here. And if he gets a 5, he may become favourite even. But he doesn't. Raj will play this on as too good.
There's been some wonder. I mean, we've seen wonderful play from Raj. We've seen some wonderful rolling as well. I think,
Yeah.
Already.
I can attest to that.
Yes,
Yes,
unfortunately, Julian, both of us could attest to that.
there's a good rule about these positions I learned from the Norwegian player Hannah Nielsen, and she said that you can work out the percentage gammons you get from sort of one checker closed out is normally 5% gammons, and you get an extra 2% gammons for every pip your opponent has to come home. And here the 3 checkers on the midpoint means he's got to go 3 lots of 7, 21 pips to get those home. So if we double that, we get 42, and add the 5% you get from closing out one checker. So it means Raj is just a slight underdog to win a gammon here. Well, that's a difficult bearing number.
Fabio dances there again, so increases the gammon chances. We're wanting to get a 6 there, but Raj has got some bad rolls, double 5, double 6, double 4, but he manages to avoid those.
So Raj is, because Fabio's board isn't perfect, Raj can play some kind of an aggressive bear-off and try and take checkers off while keeping points closed. So he's not worrying overtly about leaving a shot.
And it certainly seems to be going Raj's way. He doesn't really want to see any 1s here particularly. And this is okay. So it's only sort of the big doubles that leave shot numbers for Fabio if he gets the opportunity.
Fabio's still not in.
This is not dancing that he wants to see. So Raj is now he's got 10 checkers. He's got 5 checkers off, and Fabio's in at long last. I
And
think
that's probably a mistake.
he
that
should split the 13.
He should be
yeah.
diversifying off the midpoint rather than keeping them all on the same place.
So the problem he's got here is lack of flexibility in terms of play here. So he's got 3 checkers all on 1 point. And again, I'm not sure what he rolled there, but I would like to see some diversification there, George.
Yeah.
Essentially, he's trying to make to optimise his play.
But now it looks as though the gammon's pretty much in the bag.
It does.
Fabio needs 7 crossovers or 5 crossovers now, and Raj only needs 6 to get the gammon. Fabio's looking for a double.
Is this double 2?
Looks like he's got
This
one.
is clearly right. So he can save this gammon now with any 6 or any 5 if Raj doesn't roll a double.
He doesn't.
He doesn't. And Raj needs to avoid 1. So any 6 or any 5 will save the gammon here for Fabio.
There we go.
And he gets it, so it's 1 point to Raj, and we'll concede the game.
Threatening to double.
So that'll be good news from Raj's point of view. He gets 1 point on the board. Maybe a little disappointed he didn't get a gammon there, I suspect, Jules.
Yes, but I think it's always good to win the first game. It puts you in a positive frame of mind for the match.
So it looks like they had the same number there, so they're re-rolling their dice. And Raj starts with a fantastic 3-1.
The best opening roll there is. And now Fabio should be split with almost any number. Raj is setting up a priming formation.
So that was 4-3, so that looks right, doesn't it?
Yes.
Raj will be very keen to hit this blot on the 4 point if he gets any opportunity.
He hasn't.
He's got
So
a
it's
6-1.
6-1. So this is a good play. But, normally you make the bar with this, but because he's 8 points stripped, he can't do that. So he's getting all his checkers into play. He's got an extra builder to attack the 4 point, and he's trying to provoke some contact while he's got the stronger board. So now Fabio's going to have a problem of trying to hide all his blots or get into a blot hitting contest that isn't to his advantage.
Well, I think Fabio's priority here is to maybe try and get this anchor made if he gets the chance.
It's a double 4, so he can't sort out the back checkers, but he can do good things on the attack.
And I think the spare here is just 13 to 9 again, isn't it, Jules?
Yes, the fourth one is difficult. 3 of them are good, he can make the 5 point, but the fourth one's a bit difficult.
It's kind of forced in the end, though, isn't it?
So now Raj is looking for 2s to hit, 6s to anchor, 1, 2, 4 combinations to point.
Oh, he's gone for the double hit by the looks of things.
Yes,
1-3.
1-3. Normally a good roll, but here he's had it already and made the 5 point.
This is a good roll for Fabio. He hits Raj.
In with a hit, and Raj now needs a 6 to get his defensive anchor. He hasn't got it, but he's managed to run the checker to safety.
So the game's quite equalised now. Not a massive advantage to either player yet.
No, I suspect that Fabio has a small racing lead, but he's still got all the checkers on his 6 points stacked up. That he made the 5 point, how we described, unnaturally. He didn't make it unstacking the 6 points, so he's used 2 checkers from the midpoint to make it.
I was going to say, it's quite interesting that Fabio has too few checkers on his midpoint, while Raj has too many.
Yes.
Neither
And
in the perfect
it's the
position.
converse of the 6 point, where Fabio's got too many and Raj has got too few.
So Fabio's appreciating the importance of this move in terms of getting it right. So he's going to hit with the...
And of course, now he's equalised his board, he's no longer at a disadvantage.
So the loose hit's a lot easier from Fabio's perspective. Raj comes in and hits him immediately. Nothing else to do with the 1 really, apart from come up to the edge of the prime that Fabio's trying to build. He's in with a 3. Must be a 3-5 with the anti roll, so he didn't have any opportunity really apart from a hit there, I think, Jules.
Of course, if he'd rolled a different 3, he would have been trying to make that anchor behind Raj's 5 points.
Yes, I mean, one of the key things with this position is that Fabio's actually got a lot of checkers to attack with. So he's got more opportunity with attacking options, whereas Raj has got to play a little more slowly. But Raj having his checkers back means that priming games are going to be better for him, and Fabio is going to be wanting to be hitting all of Raj's blots before he can develop his game.
So it looks like a double 2 that Fabio needs to play here, and he's certainly achieved something by putting Raj on the bar and making
Yes,
his
but
anchor,
he's given up the 5 point, hasn't he?
which we never like. So Raj is hitting, even though he's facing a 3-point board, he won't worry too much.
Yes, he basically needs to hit to stall Fabio's attack.
Yeah.
If he makes Fabio use half his roll to enter, then he won't be using that half to attack on the other side of the board.
So it looks like a 4-1. This is a lovely roll for Fabio, where he's able to hit Raj and make this advanced anchor against Raj's potential prime. And this is a fantastic reply from Raj, 5-3, automatic play. And as any backgammon player, to make that advanced prime on the 5-point is a massive relief in that situation, Jules.
Yes, it's especially gratifying when Fabio had the point and has given it up, and Raj has now seized the opportunity to occupy it. So now Raj has actually got both 5 points, and I often think with backgammon, when you've got both 5 points, you're looking for an excuse not to double rather than looking for an excuse to double. You have a long-term advantage in the game, and it's just when you're going to press that advantage with the double.
Well, you notice that Raj has put his shaker down, so it's possible he's already...
No, I don't think he's going to cube this.
Yes, I mean Fabio's still got an advanced anchor, and he's got a stronger board and probably a racing lead, so Raj is a long way from cubing it yet.
So I'm not
Double
sure.
5.
So double 5. So this play, I think, Jules, is quite difficult because suddenly Raj is going to have to look at switching his game plan, but it's not. This is quite a nice move. I think it's straightforward, isn't it?
Yes, he's got 2 into play from the midpoint,
Yeah.
so now he's strengthened his board as well.
So Fabio's just going to look at trying to safety up this blot. Has he got 2-1? It looks like a 2-1 to me.
I think it might be a 3-2. Yeah, it's a 3-2.
Okay. No other play, or does he make the... I like this play. I don't give up the midpoint here, I don't think, Jules.
No, I think there's one problem with Fabio's game is what we call TMP, is too many points. That he's got 7 points, and with his 15 checkers it means he's only got 1 spare checker which is moving round. So it seems when you've got 7 points that you have this 1 checker you move round until finally it reaches the end of the board, and then you discover something falls apart.
And this is interesting. I think Raj has rolled a 4-1 that gives him a dilemma in terms of he's got this checker at the back that he can move up or he can hit. This is quite a difficult play, I think, but he goes for that. I think the hit's correct here.
It allows him to make use of that 3-point he's just made with his double 5.
So Fabio's in with a 1. I suspect he's probably got a 2 to play by the length of time, which he does. Again, I think this is a straightforward move. I don't think there's any other option that he really has here.
Yes, he's still suffering from this too many points problem.
Yes.
So he's come in with one of his dice, and with his other dice he's got to break a point and expose a blot.
3-1, so Raj can hit again. Now Raj, I guess, is going to be looking at the duke. So Fabio's got 1s, 2s and 4s to come in on. So Raj may look at a little bit of diversification potentially here, Jules.
Yes, he wants to try and minimise the shots, and he's got to leave a 5 shot from 6 to 1. So he's duplicating that by leaving the 5 shot from 13 to 8.
So Fabio would dearly like to get this on the 4-point, which he does. So it gives him some ammunition to aim at Raj as he's trying to bring these checkers round. So he came in on the 4. Okay, so it's double 4. Okay, so this is a big play. He's going to hit on the ace point here. I'm not sure about this, but I think it's pretty full. So I think there's a great deal else he can do in terms of this. Raj really needs a 5 or a 1 here. He comes with a fan of 1. The choices, huh? Well, this is interesting. Does he? Oh, he gets a double hit, massive. Fabio really needs to get a 1. He needs to make this second anchor to make life very difficult for Raj. His problem will always be timing. There's a cocked dice.
Although once again, Raj is kind of all over the board.
Yes, he has control of a lot of the board now.
No checkers in there for Fabio.
So while I was away, is the cube still in the centre?
It's still in the centre. Raj threw a huge number. He got put on the bar and came in with a 1 and hit with the 5 as well. So that's why Fabio's got 2 on the bar, and unfortunately he didn't manage to bring either of those in. So he's desperately looking to make this sort of second anchor if he can. But he's got problems with timing if he's not careful. And he fans again. So I guess Raj has got to have a look at the situation now, hasn't he?
I tend to think that he's too good to double,
Yes.
or was too good to double. That was probably deterring him, but
There's a conversation happening. No, he has come in with a thought.
Something's happened here. I think Raj might have thought the dice were cocked or something, but in these situations, there'll be the tournament director, Mike Main in this instance, will make a judgment if there's any confusion. So the players will explain the facts as they see them, and then Mike will make a decision in terms of what is the legal or correct play in this instance.
yes, I have a suspicion that Fabio rolled a number that entered, in this case a 4, but he thought it stayed on the bar, so he pressed the clock.
And that, I think, means that Fabio's roll is over. Once you've pressed the clock, it's up to Raj.
That's
in
the
terms
official
of,
ruling, yes.
So it's
but,
Raj's.
and there's no dishonour at all in this. It's not anything unethical. It's simply the rules say quite clearly that when you play with the clock, that your turn ends when you press the clock. It's up to you to choose whether to press the clock or not, and if you choose to press it without moving anything, your opponent can say that's your problem, not mine.
And it's the same for both players.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And in general, the rules are there so that the player who makes the mistake or makes the incorrect player is the player who's punished. So Fabio has incorrectly hit his clock.
Yes.
So it's him that will lose out by that rather than Raj.
So I think Raj is trying to have a look at if he comes in, what the connotations are of it. I'm not sure now. Okay, so I think they've agreed that Fabio won't have his 4 to play.
I think Raj might be putting his case as to why this is a fair ruling.
Yeah,
Yes,
and that's nice
yeah.
to see. Both of them agree that the right ruling has been made and shaking hands on it. So this is pretty straightforward, and I think he brings his back checker out quickly. Okay, but he's going to look at making the 2-point as well, I think, Jules.
He's either trying to extend his blockade at the back or the front, but I think Raj is kind of having a free roll here, that he feels he can probably double out Fabio any stage he wants to.
Oh, this is a big roll. He's got that second
got
anchor.
the second anchor, yes.
And so Raj will now be thinking more clearly about the double opportunities that he may get.
Yeah, I'm surprised Raj hasn't doubled this.
Yeah.
That he has a very strong game, and it's really for him to put the question to Fabio whether he wants to play this 1-4 game with no timing.
Yeah.
And it might be Raj even still thinks he's too good.
Well, if you can get Fabio to crack, but this was a great move, 2-1,
Yes,
near
he's
4-2,
improved his back game from a 4-1 to a 4-2 game.
which is significantly better in this situation. And
Yes,
he's
but the trouble is he's got nothing to move.
No.
You know, when he rolls a 6, he'll be coming off the front anchor and be attacked again.
But to a certain extent, that's kind of what he wants in terms of he needs to ensure that he has the timing to play this back game, doesn't he?
Yes, but it's not much of a back game if you get all your checkers closed out.
So is this a double 4, which actually may be quite a good roll from Fabio's perspective, that it forces Raj's position pretty quickly.
Yes, it messes up Raj's timing. Raj would like to see Fabio's board break a bit before he breaks his prime.
And so Fabio's got an opportunity with a 1 or a 3 to move his blot off the ace point, if he so chooses, and he's going to bring this one round. So that's obviously the 5 and a 2. Okay, so we have nothing else to play.
Well, there you go, 6-1.
So this is right. I think Raj keeps his position in terms of a board that could make Fabio crack if given the opportunity. In with a 1 from Fabio's perspective.
Small crack.
Small crack.
Oh, it's double 1. He's made the
Wow,
5 point.
huge crack.
Awesome roll.
But still a lot of work to do.
Yes, he's still got 5 checkers behind Raj's block.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not a fantastic block. It's only 4 long, but Backgammon players are wont to say 4 primes are longer than you think.
Indeed.
I mean, any of us who played this game and stayed on the board stayed on the bar against a 3-point board or a 4-point board know that it's no routine matter.
Oh, this looks bad. This is double 2, so he's already, this 4 prime is or is it double 1? I think actually no, it's double 1.
Yes.
So the 4 prime
There's
holding
a
up at the moment.
crack in Fabio's board now. It hasn't broken yet, but there's a crack there.
And this is a great advantage to Raj because he knows he's unlikely to get stuck behind Fabio's prime now. Whereas if he'd come in with a 1 before and he's behind a 5 prime, it's still a very precarious position to be in.
Indeed.
Raj doesn't come in, so Fabio really needs to get this back checker out and running pretty quickly, which is this exactly what he does. This is a great roll, Jules.
Yes, now he's kind of back in the game. Having got 1 checker out, it buys him a lot of time to escape the others.
So Jules, here it's such an important factor in terms of being able to switch your game plan, isn't it? He no longer wants to be playing this back game, which is exactly what he's done.
Yes. I mean, now his idea is to get his back checkers out and flood the outfield and try and contain Raj's checker when it ultimately comes in.
So it doesn't look like it looks like a double 1 again.
Yes, so if he's moving those 2, he's obviously considering whether he wants to switch from the 4-point to the 3-point. But he's spreading them out, that's the right thing, so that if Raj comes in and out into the outfield, then he'll get double shots at him.
Raj is in with the 3, now he's got a 4 to move. So I don't think Raj is hitting here. I think he's probably contemplating maybe playing 5 to 1.
Yes, and that shows the strength of Fabio's last move, that having got his outfield control, it's deterred Raj from coming out.
Doesn't look like a good number from Fabio. It looks like a small number.
I think it's a 3-5.
3-5.
And it's actually probably worse than a small number because he's going to have to give up some of that outfield control.
Yes, but he can probably bring one of his 2 checkers in. Normally here he'd expect to either link the checkers together by rolling 2 numbers that are 1 apart, or bring 1 home.
So he's counting the number of shots that he's leaving Raj from this perspective.
I see, so he's looking at it, does he want to leave a 10 shot or a 9 shot?
Kind of like this because 1s don't do an awful lot at the other end. You know, he certainly 2s are an important number in terms of getting that 3rd checker from.
Yes,
from
absolutely.
behind that.
This is diversifies him. It gives him a 1 to hit in board and 2 to come up.
Okay, so Raj is doubling here.
Finally, Raj has decided to use the cube. He's decided he's not too good anymore.
And this is it's quite an easy cue for Raj. It's a difficult cue for Fabio, I think, in terms of where he's at. I've got a feeling I'm passing this, but
yes, Raj's got lots of options here. He can sort of be attacking in board and try and sort of launch an attack and then bring his back checker home. He can try and bring his back checker out immediately, or if he can't do any of these things, he can just wait a roll and see if Fabio's position collapses.
And he's rightly taking a lot of time, Fabio, over this decision.
Yes, this is a crucial decision because...
and he takes. That's a big take.
It's a winnable game for him, but there's going to be a few gammon losses, or potential gammon losses.
This is a double 3 from Raj, it looks like it.
2-3, I think.
2-3.
So this is a
good roll for
kind
Fabio.
of a nothing roll for Raj. He's strengthened his board now, he's got rid of his blot.
Now any 1 I think Fabio should be hitting automatically.
Yes, but no, he's rolled a 1 and he's choosing not to hit.
No, no, it can't have been a 1. So that's 3.
Yeah, it's 3-4.
3-4. I don't think there's a lot else he can do here. He's kind of looking at wasting that.
So this is the problem with that 4 prime. It's still rearing its ugly head. And now Raj can either hit, jump into the outfield, or attack.
So straightforward for Raj, and Fabio's in quite a lot of trouble now. He's even if he gets the 2 and makes this point, he has to cut. This is horrible for him in some respects because Raj will be threatening to hit very hard on the 4-point now.
Yeah, but Fabio's still got his 5-point board, so Raj has got to be rather tentative in his attacking plays.
But
Looks like he's going for it.
So this is a big moment in the game. I mean, actually, Fabio's favourite to come in here. And he does, with a 2, but he doesn't get the number of the 4 that he needs, but he brings this other checker to safety. And this looks like double 3 maybe?
Yep, 2 3s.
Which is a great number for Raj. And he's just going to make the 4
he's
point.
made the 4 point and brought a spare checker home.
So Fabio really wants to get that spare checker out with a 5 if he gets the opportunity, which he does. And 5-6 is a good roll for him. Now Raj is looking really to avoid 6s and 1s here.
Yep,
5-4, fantastic.
So Fabio's got stuck now in a 2-point game, so if he had his life over, he'd have passed the cube. Not that it's completely lost for him, he's still got some winning chances, but not enough if he was offered the cube here to take. And one of the peculiarities of 2-point games is what we call ace point suction. That for some reason, magically, the white checkers seem to get sucked onto the ace point. You keep wanting to take them off and to play safely, but they keep racing to the ace point.
So Raj is going to be looking at trying to clear points off his 5-point here, which is the next point that he wants to clear. It looks like he's probably rolled a fairly small number.
Looks like he's got a double 4 actually, so he's choosing whether to take those 4 off and clear the 4 point, or
Clear the
leave
5
everything,
point, which
yeah.
is safer.
Or to do a bit of both and take 2 off, and which
Yeah.
is what he's at. And this is an important role for Raj to get right.
And what's happened on the other side of the board? Has Fabio got a closed board?
Fabio's got a closed board with a
Right.
spare on his 9 point.
Now, to me, I think this play is clear, and sometimes it's a lot easier for us commentators than people over the board. But if he clears the 4 point now, then he can play even numbers safely onto his other points,
Yeah.
and he can play odd numbers taking checkers off. So I think the play to me is quite clear that you
4
take
off.
the 4 off, and there might be some slight danger in the future, but you're going to have so many checkers off that it's going to be all right for you when you are hit.
And he's very unlikely to leave 2 shots. And,
So Raj has found the right play, he's taken the checkers off, and Fabio's now
this is
keeping
correct.
his closed board and running to get off the gammon.
So achieved 2 crossovers there. And is this one of Raj's bad numbers? No, it's not. It's still, whilst it wasn't a good number for
So
him.
he played an even number safely
Yeah.
and took an odd number off, but his formation is still...
It is precarious. We could get quite exciting now if we see
Yes,
Raj roll 5-3 or
needs
something.
a 1 desperately.
Does he get the 1? No. This is one of his terrible numbers, I think, Jules. Okay, he plays, so it's only 1 shot.
Yeah, but there's future jeopardy as well.
Yes. Does he get the 1? No, we can tell by the speed of Fabio's play that he definitely doesn't get the 1.
Okay, so
6-2.
he's come in, so he's going to have to go next time. We can't really see how many checkers Raj has got off, but it is noticeable that the 1 point has sucked quite a few into it.
Fantastic from yes. But that was a great roll for Raj. He's able to clear up those blocks, and any 6 means Fabio is going.
Yeah, he's just going to run off the gammon and give Raj a single win, which will take the score to 3-0.
So 1.
Yeah, he's okay.
1 with a 5 there.
I think you'll find there's still oodles of checkers on Raj's 1 point. He might have stacked them up, but they're all still there.
Okay, so Fabio's now saved the gammon, and we'll move on. And as you say, 3-0 to Raj. So Raj has got a great lead. Quite exciting from Raj's point of view as a stronger player to know that he's got a 3-0 lead from his perspective. Fabio may well be thinking, did he do the right thing in terms of taking that cue? But it's important that he just moves on now and focuses on the next game. History is history.
And to be honest, he didn't lose a gammon. I think he might be
Yes.
feeling very bitter had he done so.
So Raj thought about here slotting, but he played the technical play here, which was to split. But he thought about slotting for a moment there, which is quite
So
often.
that was a 5-1, was
5-1,
it? Yes. And typically, the world's best players tend to slot with this role, even though the computer says it's not the best play, because it leads to complex games which they think is to their advantage. So if you think you're much stronger than your opponent, you tend to slot with the 5-1, but
maybe the score had a little bit to do with that from
Yes.
Raj's point of view. He doesn't need
absolutely.
to complex it up at the moment.
Well, the slotting leads to more gammons for both sides.
Yeah. And with a 3-0 lead, he's quite happy to
Yes, in matches like this of 11, 13 points, each point you're ahead at the start is worth something like 4 to 5%. So Raj is probably like 64-36 favourite now. That's sort of 3 lots of 4 and a bit.
So this was a big play by Raj. He played a bit of a tempo play by hitting Fabio's checker on the 1 point. And is Fabio now going to be able to make his? Okay, so this is double 3. This looks good to me.
I would like to pick up on that backgammon personality point that Julian hints about there, that you can very often in backgammon get 2 players playing against each other, both thinking that they're the better player.
Absolutely.
And, they need to be playing things like 5 1
In the days gone by before the computers, it was something like 90% of the matches were between 2 players who knew they were better than their opponent.
This is an ugly roll from Raj's point of view. I don't think he had a great deal else. And Fabio should take a little bit longer to have looked at the cube there, I think, Jules. I don't know that it was a double, but he should have looked at it.
I think Raj he's dug in on Fabio's 3-point, which is not a great game, but it means he's not going to get gammoned a lot from
Quickly,
there.
no.
And what it also means is if the game turns against him and Fabio misses his market, that is, he doubles and Raj passes, it's not going to be a very big pass. It's not that Fabio's going to roll some super joker that could have won him 4 points.
Is this double 2 to Raj, I think?
It looks like a nice. Oh no, 2 1 would have been nice, but it is in fact double 2.
Small doubles aren't too bad generally. So
I've got a feeling this could be.
So Raj has got 2 ideas. He can play 13 to 7 to try and keep his racing position intact, or he could try and play 6 to 4 twice and get some sort of a priming game going, but at the cost of a few shots.
I quite like the 6 to 4 play, slotting the spare on the
5 point
on the 5 point and playing 13 to 11.
Yes.
I don't like this. This is very stripped. Looks horrible in terms of flexibility, but leaves no shots, as you say. So Raj, I think, is looking at this, and he's now going to look at the alternative play here.
I don't know if Raj is the same as me, but I tend to generally look at the second best play first.
Yes, Raj has done
and
a lot
then
of
reject that, and then come down to the one that I think I'm really going to pick.
You definitely spotted that in your match against Raj.
So Raj has decided to go for this slightly ungainly looking position. And I think partly because he thinks Fabio may struggle in terms of playing some of the correct plays here. It doesn't, the easy shots from Fabio's position, if he'd left it open, would have made his life.
Yes, I seem to have lost one of Fabio's checkers.
He's got one on the 11 point. He's got a spare checker.
One on the 11. Right, so that's the red one on the red point
Yes.
that's hidden from me.
I'm not going to start teasing you about your age quite yet, Julian, but it might come. So I think, are we looking at a double 1 here? I think this is pretty straightforward. I don't think there's a lot else to play here.
Yes, there's swings and roundabouts with the play, which is why he thought about it. That it's a big improvement for him to upgrade to the 5-point anchor, but it allows Raj to play safely behind him, gives him some flexibility. Now this is a crucial play for Raj. He's rolled a 9 and he's got an opportunity to come off his 3-point anchor.
So Fabio is going to be looking to attack here. He must attack here in terms of this blot of Raj's with 2s, 3s and 5s.
He's actually thinking of doubling it, deciding he hasn't got enough yet.
Oh, he'll regret it now with that double 5. That's a huge roll, Julian.
Yeah, he's got a double 5. So he's coming in, he's pointed, bringing some more attack.
Very nice. And this could be a double pass if Raj. I think this is a clear double pass from my perspective.
It's certainly a pass. And
you think maybe too good here, Jules?
Well, it's difficult for Raj to turn the game round in one roll.
Yeah.
I'm not going to blame Fabio for doubling.
No.
As I said before, it's always good to get the first point on the score sheet.
But he needs to put it on the score sheet. He doesn't want to make this error. He's still 3-0 ahead, and I'm sure Raj has pointed out to him. That's good gentlemanly conduct from Okay, so Fabio will be feeling a lot better now that he's got a point on the board. It's an important psychological step in backgammon.
And now he's reduced the deficit to 2 points. That's something like 10% match winning chances, so Raj will be 60-40 favourite about that at the moment.
So a straightforward hit there for Raj on the bar point and
Well,
splitting it back.
He rolled a 1-4, so I
yeah.
don't think he made the right play.
Do you think he should have played 13-9 here, Jules?
Yes, I think when you hit with the last spare from the 8 point, that you have to get something else down to help fight for the point you've slotted.
5-1, so he'll just make the bar point here by the looks of things.
So the good news is he's come in, the bad news is he's not sure where.
But this is...
So he had an option to come in on the 20 point and hit, or he could make the 20 point, which he settled for. And
I like the anchor here, Jules.
I agree with you. I think generally if you've got, here he's got 3 checkers back to 2, and the more checkers you've got back, the more important it is to make that advanced anchor.
Especially with an opponent like Raj, who's going to make some gammons out of these opportunities if you're not careful. It's interesting, I've noticed with Fabio, he doesn't seem to be particularly fluent with the way he's throwing his dice. It's like 2 or 3 motion, and it's important. He's eating up a few seconds on every roll. So it's one swift movement from Raj, and he's straight in obviously here with 3-1 it looks like. I think he's going to be looking at... Okay, he's hit the outfield point.
And we've kind of joked about players practicing rolling
So in the way, okay, so watch. You see, he sort of... quite a lot of effort in terms of that shake.
He has a shake of the dice, then he stops, and then he rolls them.
But we kind of were joking earlier about players practicing rolling to improve their luck, and players who play on clocks a lot do actually practice rolling to make sure they physically can roll
Yes,
and not waste time.
I had a conversation with the Dutch player Philip Visjager, who was an ex-world champion, when they introduced clocks, and he actually seemed to be doing an awful lot of shaking, and I spoke to him and told him that he was wasting 5 seconds a move on shaking the dice, that he seemed to be cutting down his 12-second allocation to 5 seconds just on shaking the dice vigorously and then rolling. And unsurprisingly, that's why he was getting into time trouble.
It's just an extra second every roll that he's taking, you know, that will at some point maybe hurt a little. This is 6-5 by the looks of things. I don't think there's a lot else he could play there. He's not worried. Rajan has no board, so he's happy to hit
Yes,
this
I mean, Fabio's got one of the 5 points, so he's sensibly going after the remaining one that's up for grabs.
Yeah, there's a kind of hand change for the shake and roll. And obviously if that second pushes him from 12 seconds to 13 seconds, that's 12, any play within 12 seconds is essentially free, and after that you're paying out your time bank.
But generally he seems a pretty fluid player. It doesn't look as though he's going to get into serious time trouble. He seems to be quite happy about making difficult decisions quickly rather than sitting for 2 or 3 minutes with his head in his hands.
Okay, so he's moved up with a 3, and I've got a feeling he's got a 6 to play. Okay, so it's a 5. I don't know that I like this play. I think I would have been playing this one into the outfield, Jules.
Yes, absolutely. He's got to get into the outfield, especially with Raj's midpoint being stripped. So if he gets hit out there, Raj will have to concede the midpoint by hitting.
And as we've seen so many times, if you don't come out, Raj will come out first.
Yeah, well, Fabio's got such a difficult position there, where he's got his spares on 2 points essentially in the outfield. But he hits with a 4.
He's duplicated 4s, and Fabio's decided to hit outside rather than inside.
And this gives Raj some good return 5s if it happens, but is this a double 1? It looks like it, so he makes the advanced anchor with Fabio threatening to hit that 4 point. Okay, so he's extending that prime. This looks...
Is that a blot he's left in the outfield?
It is. He has a blot on his midpoint. His midpoint is now So Raj again may well take control of the outfield here. But he gets a 4-2, which is a nice roll from Raj's point of view. Unstacks that 6 point and makes an important 4 point. Oh, this is a fantastic
great roll
yeah.
and a great play.
Yeah.
Now Fabio's reunited the two halves of his army.
And Raj will be a little bit disappointed with that, won't he, George?
Yes,
He would have seen an opportunity here.
As you say, there was an opportunity if he'd rolled the 1 to drive Fabio out of the outfield completely, but now Fabio's come back.
Oh, and a fantastic double 1 is this, or double 1? Wow. Played that very quickly though, didn't he? So this looks like an awkward double 4.
So each side has now got
A
a
4
4
prime with a slotted 5 prime for Fabio if he's able to roll a 4. So I think probably the perfect roll for Fabio here is probably a 5-4 or something along those lines. Definitely wants to make this 4 prime, this 5 prime if he can. He obviously can't.
It's a small number, it's a 2-1.
So not a lot of opportunities there. So Raj is looking really to get this spare checker from behind the prime, but can't. So just makes the plays a 6-2 to make a 3-point board now. And he manages to get this checker out. That's absolutely key at this point again, as we spoke earlier. But, you know, the 4 prime can cause you more damage than good if you're not careful. And Raj hasn't got many shots. I think he's only got 6-5 to hit that. And of course he hits it. Very unlucky for Fabio there. Fabio desperate to. Okay, we're going to see some excitement now. I think is this 3-5? No, 3-4. Okay, so pretty much forced play here for Fabio. So we're in this sort of interesting holding game, Jules, where they're both behind the 4 prime and they're both holding sort of advanced anchors against each other.
Yes, and there's kind of contrasting advantages here. That Fabio's got the positional advantage controlling the outfield, but that's compensated by Raj having racing lead, so if he can convert to a race, that would be to his advantage. But Fabio's rolled a big double 6 here.
Which is both great and difficult at the same time. Double 5 I think would have been his perfect number. I'm not sure about this. I wonder if he stays back and blocks double 5 and puts the spares on the bar point there, but there won't be a lot in it. So a difficult move for Raj here. This looks like a complex 4-3. Yeah, you can tell Raj doesn't like this.
Yes, he's hurting from his 2 blots in board.
He played that last move pretty quickly, didn't he, where he split the 2 checkers on his 2 points.
Yes, well, I guess he didn't have any other one at all. So with 4-3, what are his options? He can have only 1 shot. That looks as though he's done it.
That was a big play by Raj. But he's maintained that prime in front of his opponent in terms of trying to keep that 1 checker back, and he's now got a 3-point board opposed to, and with only 1 blot in board opposed to 2 blots in board. So Fabio's having, I think, or is Raj still thinking about this? Has he pressed his clock?
I think Raj pressed the clock here.
I thought he did as well, but it looks like Raj is, or is Fabio contemplating the double? I don't think this is a cube, Jules.
No, again, as in the previous game, that Raj has dug into the 4-point anchor so that he's unlikely to get gammoned here in the near future. I mean, one way to judge these things is to say, suppose your opponent gets his best shot, so suppose Fabio gets a hit and covers, and Raj fans, then, you know, there's still lots to play in the game for Raj.
So Fabio declined to cube here. I'm wondering, that 6-3 must have been 6-3 because he couldn't. I think his priority really is to get that spare checker out if he gets the chance. It looks like if this is another 4-3, I'm suspecting Raj is going to point on him at the out, which is exactly what he does. Fabio's looking at the cube again. I don't think he can double this either.
No, now he's in danger of getting into an inferior position.
And he comes in and he hits Raj, so this is a good number.
That's good, but he's got a plotting board.
Oh, which is fantastic. So this is probably his best number.
Yes.
So now he will be thinking about the cube almost regardless of what Raj comes in with.
So now we've had what I discussed before, that Fabio's had his best number, and if he has missed his market, he hasn't missed it by a
Very
lot.
much, yeah. So I think Fabio will probably double this. I'm not sure what Raj's second die is. I suspect it's a 5 and he's thinking about hitting.
If it's a 5, he can come into the outfield,
yes,
can't he?
which is what he would do, so it can't be. It must
So
be
it's
a
not
3.
4, 5, 4, 6.
Must be a 3. Which is a difficult. So he's looking, I think, about stripping his forefoot. I mean, it's just a horrible. Well, I think he's just got to move on 9 to 6 really. I can't if that is a 3. Oh no, it is a 5. It is a 5.
All right,
So
well,
this is right.
4, 5, to me, it's obvious play, good play. Fabio doubles, Raj takes instantly. Am I right in saying that
This is a
Fabio
2-1.
got to 7 points again then?
This was a 2-1 that Fabio
Right.
played there.
Yes,
Raj,
right, and he had
yeah.
nowhere to go.
So Fabio split that 1 at the back, which I'm not sure about, which gave Raj the opportunity
Yes.
to make the
2
big play.
blocks in his board.
It's only 5-1 or 5-5 that really gives Fabio a better position. So it's 5-2.
So he's had to hit to stop Raj making a 5 point, but there's lots of returns here.
Well, Raj is a big favourite to come in here and hit, which he immediately does. So he's giving himself lots of opportunities
Well,
to make the
he's
4
hit
and 6
2.
point. Wow. So that, and Raj is holding a 2 cube, so this could be a massive swing here. And so
Raj
Raj is
is
looking at
rightly stopping to look at the cube here and decide, is he too good, is he good enough?
and I guess part of the problem here is he's got 6s and 5s to get his spare checkers out, and they make quite a lot of points, 6s and 5s as well.
Yes, it's a very difficult position. I mean, it's kind of like if he rolls a good number and makes a point in board, he might still get stuck behind the 4 prime. I think Raj is right not to double. I think it's worth taking a roll there to see whether it gets considerably better or worse. So it's gone as expected. He's made a 5th point, which is good, but he hasn't escaped a checker, which is bad.
And he understands that his opponent will probably, I think, pass this cube.
Right, well, I think this is a good double. Again, there's good winning chances for Fabio because he's got 3 behind a 4 prime, but very gammonish position, and that's caused Fabio to give it up.
So Raj races to a 5-1 lead, and Raj turned that cube round very quickly that Fabio put across to him.
Yes, I think Raj had very good cube handling in that game, that he treated the cube as a present rather than a threat, and after receiving it was happy to give it back later. So Raj gets a 4-point lead now. That makes him something like 70-30 favourite at the moment. But I tend to think with a 4-point lead you have to be a little more conservative with the cube. Not so much that it should produce total fear on your part, but you don't want to be giving away easy gammonish cubes where it'll come back to you at 4
Well, it looks
very
like
quickly.
Fabio danced there with a double 6, I'm guessing. Well, it must have been double 6. And it's equally important that Fabio is aware of his cube action duels being 4 behind. He needs to be a little bit more happy to get that cube going. Huh?
Yes, but on the other hand, he doesn't want to be giving points away, so he wants to be doubling gammonish positions.
So Fabio needs a 4 very quickly, otherwise Raj is under the threat. Oh, this looks like a double 1 or a 6-1.
Yes, he's bad.
This is really, so Raj is having a look at the double here.
Yes, so Raj has got 2s, 4s and 6s to cover to give himself a 3-point board. So
And
that's
9s.
That's a near certainty then, and
It's
that's 2 on the bar.
Fabio
And
passes
of course
quickly.
Pass, yes. I don't think the pass was so obvious to me.
No, I would have liked to have a little look at that position for a while.
That if Raj is using half his roll to cover the blot, then the chances are Fabio will come in with at least 1 next time, and then it's not so clear he should be passing that kind of position too quickly.
Especially, you know, if it's 0-0 maybe, but at 6-1 he has to look at the opportunity when he's behind to get that cube action going.
Not so much that he wants to be doubled, but he wants to have the opportunity to get the cube at 4 when he recubes.
So this is a good roll for Fabio. He runs out with 6-5.
4-1 split by Raj, 6-5 running by Fabio.
It feels like 6-5 to Raj. He's going to make the bar point. A fantastic roll from his perspective. Doesn't. Could have thought about making a 3-point, but I think it's clear here he makes the bar point.
Yes.
It's very kind of Raj that he points out the double 6 here from Fabio's point of view is now forced. So Raj will be very keen to hit this spare checker if he can, which he does with the 2. And he's got 2-5, so Fabio's got 6 return hitting numbers here.
So Fabio's position looks like a total mess after this double 6, but it is 24 pips in the race, so he's going to have some kind of a racing lead, which is going to stop Raj from doubling too quickly.
Nice roll for Raj. He makes that 5-point quickly.
So Fabio's idea here is just to try and get that back checker out as soon as he can, and if he can't do that,
Exactly
he's
what
got
he's
to
done.
develop his board.
So he's only leaving 4s here in terms of shots.
So he's got it out and round.
And he's got a good race position here, if he can avoid getting hit. Raj is thinking about those double 4s.
He's looking at it, he knows he needs this 4.
It's a 6-5 by the looks of things, so this is straightforward. He'll just slot this absolutely.
So now first Fabio's job is to save his blot.
Which he does with the 6, and he plays the 5. I think I like this.
Yes, I think he's got to try and get his checkers from the midpoint into the game. What he's trying to do is try and get some communicating point between his midpoint and his home table, so he can get those checkers down comfortably.
That was a big roll for Raj, though. He puts him back in the race in terms of the pitch with double 6. Probably puts him well in front of the race.
So now Fabio's got his communicating point now, so he shouldn't have any trouble bringing his checkers in from the midpoint. And Raj has got stuck back on the 18 point.
Raj needs to be a little bit wary not to run out of time here.
Yes,
time
as we
in
said
this
earlier,
position.
Raj is going to be keeping some 6s for a while.
I think this is right from Fabio. I think it's pretty straightforward play here. It means that if he rolls a double next time, he can clear that midpoint.
Yes,
very
I mean
effectively.
normally you want to try and keep a spare on the 8 point so that you don't have to leave a shot with 6-1. But here, since Raj has given up the midpoint, Fabio can play 6-1 from his midpoint.
Another 6-1, as you correctly predicted there, Jules. (6-3), so he's now run out of his 6s, and I don't think he's going to leave the shot here. It's interesting, it's quite a sort of, whilst the game here looks quite relaxed, there's not an awful lot of hitting or massive equity swings. It's quite a tense game from both players. They realise their positions are pretty fragile, and they've got to keep the balance.
Yes, with holding games like this, then things seem to go along very sluggishly for a while.
Oh, here we go.
And then suddenly...
Here we go. Raj has hit the double
starts.
4. So Raj now, you can see Raj is counting the pip counts immediately. He's looking to see if he's got a doubling opportunity, which will be not immediately obvious to him because of the score.
Not a good response to a double 4 there with 2-1.
No, terrible. And Raj has. It was interesting. He was counting his pips on Fabio's time, so he was able to make a very quick cube decision. And I'd like to see Fabio think about that a little bit longer. I wasn't able to analyse that position.
Okay, so seems to have gone on to 7-1. That's a 6-point lead now. So that pushes Raj up to something like 80-20 favourite.
And not much shyness with the cube on his part.
No, that was quite a straightforward cube because it was a simple race, and players of this level know racing equities backwards and forwards. That any sort of race length and any lead, they will know precisely what they should be doing.
I think interesting for me, I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I would have been thinking about taking a break there if I'd been Fabio at 7-1 down, just to sort of...
Yes, sometimes you need to take a break to feel that you've got to sort of change the luck somehow. If it's just getting gradually game after game that you're losing and points are racking up against you. Sometimes I like to play on and try and win a point, so that when I take my break I can go out on a positive note and say, yes, I can win games.
This 6-4, I think, which is pretty straightforward, make the 4 point for Raj. Nice roll.
So both players are developing primes, and neither of them have got their back checkers moving. So it's a prime against prime
It's a
game.
fantastic roll for Fabio, who was positioned to make that 5 point. Didn't have a lot of spare checkers pointing on it either. 2-1, pretty straightforward from Raj.
So Fabio's got 1 extra point in his prime, which is not enough to double.
Straightforward, a 4-3, which he's going to put the spare on the 6 point. Oh, is that double 3 from Raj? That's a massive roll for him. So Fabio is under real pressure again. Is that double 6? No.
I think it's 6-3.
6-3.
So this is the kind of position where Raj would be looking at doubling if the score was different, but this is just the sort of position he doesn't want to be doubling, because the cube can get very high here with gammons for both sides, so he's sensibly giving it a roll for things to develop a bit before the cube gets too high.
So Fabio's going to need a bit of a wondrous roll. Double 2 would be his top roll here, but I don't think he's found it.
It looks like it's a lemon for the time he's taking. He's wondering whether to try and counterpry.
Yeah, it's a 6 and a 5.
So it's a horrible roll. Big
Bad
roll
gets.
for the race, which is bad for the priming. Now I think Raj can cash the game if he wants, or he can decide if he wants to try.
I think
out the
Raj will play this on.
He's having a think.
He's got control of the outfield. He's got some spares on his 6 and 5 point. He's got a block to hit.
Yes, I mean,
potentially.
I think with these I tend to double them, but here he's right not to. That if you look at what's the worst that can happen, that Fabio needs 2 2s and 2 6s to get out, so he can roll double 2 and...
He does double them, and
Right.
I think that he's quite happy to catch that game. I think.
Yes, I don't, because of this prime against prime game, that the gammons are so ripe that Raj is quite happy to settle for 1 point on his side rather than a possible 4 going each way.
So I do think Fabio should take a break now.
Yes,
Obviously, he needs
it's kind
to.
of like one-way traffic, and he needs to stop it somehow.
Yeah.
It's interesting how some players take a lot of breaks and they focus very hard on making sure they take their breaks. Again, maybe the more experienced players. Raj, obviously, in this case, he is taking advantage of the fact that he's steamrolling through.
Yes, I mean, when you're going like Raj is, and you seem to be winning every game with ease, then you don't particularly want to take a break. You're quite happy to carry on, and you get lots of energy to... But it's great fun when you win every game.
And Raj hasn't been under a lot of pressure, to be honest. This is a nice roll.
He's making it all look easy.
Yeah, it is, and it isn't. He's working very hard, as we all know, to do this. Okay, that wasn't cube action from Fabio. I think we had a bit of an accident with the die hitting the doubling cube here. Oh, Raj is determined to get that cube going. I don't think that's what he wants in this moment. Fabio is having a bit of a laugh about it. Okay, so this is 2-4, I suspect, is it?
Okay, so the 2 is good, he's
Yeah.
made his 20 point, but he doesn't have a good 5 at all.
Oh, is it 2-4? Must be 2-4 he's got here.
Yes, now here I think this is the wrong play. I think he should be making the 20 point,
Has
because
to.
Raj has got the point 6 away from
Yeah.
it.
But it looks like he's got away with it for the moment. Raj is double hit. which you never like to do when your opponent's got a better board than you, but
No, but I mean, to his advantage, that Fabio gave some thought to making the 4 point, and this is the kind of game where he wants to have, where he's got checkers of Raj's sent back, blocks lying around, he's got a point in board.
So
this is where Fabio should be doubling.
yeah, he has to double this.
So, I mean, one way to judge this is simply to
Now
say...
this is an interesting, this is a typical Raj move. Raj is going to put it on the bar to hope that his opponent is slightly concerned about doubling. That's why I think he looked at that move. I don't think he was necessarily going to play it. And this
So-
is a straightforward, yeah, so
Yes,
Fabio knows.
I mean, basically, you can say that Raj has got more checkers back and Fabio has got a point in board.
But I'm sure, Julian, that Raj looked at that
I
that
see
play.
this was a psychological play
Well,
to
just
sort
to
of
see if he
try
could
and
get away
deter
with it.
your opponent
Yes.
from doubling. Say, look, I can hit you if I want to, but I don't need to.
Not that you'd ever make such a play yourself, Julian.
Once again, Fabio there forgetting to increase the score count.
Are we sure he's actually only won 2 points? Has he actually won 7 games and not scored 5 of them?
Well, luckily Raj is on the board and pointed it out again.
Okay, so Raj's just done a pretty straightforward
He's
split
opened
down.
3-4, what we call the reverse split, when you split with the smaller
So it's
number.
like 4-2, is it? No, 4-3. So he's going to hit both checkers.
Yeah, not the best play, not the
No.
worst play either, but
I would like to have seen 30, bringing one down. And just
yes,
leave it on
it's
the,
the 4 point is the one he wants to make, and not the ace point.
wow,
Raj
huge
is
roll
going
again.
double
Double
ball.
four. This is
Beautiful
massive.
roll. So he comes in, makes the 21 point, makes the 9 point, has some spares for inner board points now, and Fabio's position just looks a mess.
Yes.
You know, he's got one checker played 8-1, and that's about it. And we used to say about this that once you've killed one of your children, you might as well kill the other one.
So it's an easy move for Raj here. Just going to make the 4 point.
So again, Raj has got a strong position from the opening. In
Oh,
fact,
is this double 6? It looks like double. No,
6-4.
6-4. I think this is right.
Yes, he's got to do something about
Oh,
just
double
getting
5.
stuck
Raj
behind the
is on.
gun.
You know, he's going to hit twice here, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, he's got so much ammunition here in terms of hitting these points.
So this is very, very strong. If Fabio stays out, Raj can try and win a blitz, and if he comes in, Raj can just bring his back checker out and try and win a race. So Raj knows he can double this if he wants to, but it's a volatile position. It might turn round, so he's wondering whether it's best to try and give it a roll or not and cash 1 point, or whether he should be cubing now and get 4 points. He still needs 5 points to win the match, so he shouldn't be completely shy of doubling.
But
You
he's
know,
not-
it's when you can use all of the possible 4 points at stake, then you should be considering doubling. So
Well, it's
he's
interesting,
going-
Jules. If we were playing to 11 points in this game, that probably wouldn't have been a clear double from
No,
Raj's point of view, because he's going to overshoot.
Because, as you say, you can only use 3 of the 4.
So it shows how dependent you are on the score in terms of the doubling cube.
Right, so 9-2. Raj's got a 7-point lead, and as far as he's concerned, there's still 4 points to go. So 5-1 now. He's sure he's splitting. He wasn't taking any time on that one.
And I'm pretty sure we know Raj well enough that if he was 9-2 down, he would have taken a break by then.
Yes. If you think this kind of score is hopeless, I remember I once played a tournament against Raj when I was leading him 13-1, playing to 15, and he came back from that.
So it looks like so Raj will want to play this position. It's interesting he didn't elect for the hit here with the 4-3. I think it was, or was it 5-2?
5-2.
Oh, okay. So he couldn't hit here.
But again, Raj has got the kind of position he wants here. He's got his 20-point anchor, and that means there's unlikely to be any gammons here. It's going to be quite a slow game with probably only 1 point at stake. And this is exactly what Raj wants. With a big lead, you should be quite happy just for games to go 1 to you, 1 to your opponent. Because in order to catch up the 7 points, Fabio's got to win an extra 7 games. And you know, if your chance of winning a game is a half, then your chance of winning 7 games is 1 in 128. So Fabio's chance of catching up is by getting the points in 2s and 4s.
So I think Raj is going to make his 4 point and slot the spare in on his 3 point here. So Fabio is able to play. I'm guessing that's a 3-1. So he's secured that block and made Raj's life a little bit more difficult.
So a double 2.
It's
Going
a
to
pretty
come
good
out with
roll.
that.
Well, I think Raj has to be clear of what his game plan is here before he plays this role.
Yes, I mean he's interested as to how the race is. If the race is good for him, then he'll want to be coming out as far as he can, as fast as he can. But if he's behind in the race, he'll want to be staying back. My guess from a quick look is the race is about
Very
level.
close, yeah.
So I think he should be coming out here to the 18 point. Generally in these kinds of games, the person who has the anchor that's furthest back is at a disadvantage.
And suddenly, from Raj's point of view, he's holding that bar point, as you say, which is got connectivity with 3 strip points of Fabio's.
So if he doesn't do that, what other choices are there? He can give up the midpoint and make a blocking point, maybe long. No, he's decided to stay where he is on the 20 point. The positive of this is that while you're anchored on the 20 point, you don't get gammoned that much. When you come out to the 18 point, then your opponent can fill in.
Oh, this is a big roll from Fabio.
So now I think Roger's very pleased he's stayed back.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is the one roll that makes his play look very clever.
Fabio said, I'll take your double 2 and I'll raise it to a double 4.
So an easy move for Raj. Just make the 5 point and see what happens here. An important roll here. So Fabio's going to look at a double here, I think, guys.
So it looks like he's ahead a bit now, but he's still
No
got a
gammons.
long way to go to bring the position home.
And no gammons here, importantly.
No, and there's no volatility
Yeah.
that Raj can handle any roll comfortably for the moment. But again, he's looking at the danger of running out of sixes.
This is 4-2, I think, for Raj. It looks like it.
So this now he doesn't have any sixes. He's decided that's the right play quite quickly. I think I'd probably have done a switching play there. Brought one of the checkers in
Yeah.
and then played 5 to 3.
5 to 3, yeah.
Or maybe
3 to
move the
1.
blot on the 3 point to the 1 point.
That's my play, I think, yeah. Quite a pure play from Raj here. You know, he's trying to make his points in order.
Yes.
And he got 2 crossovers in terms of that situation.
What it has done is that it's increased the volatility now.
Yeah.
It means that next time Raj might have to break one of his points.
But he's
So he'll
taking a
have to
long
break
time.
it out a point and maybe
He
leave
still
it
hasn't
open.
made this move, so he's going through all these thought processes himself.
You
at
think
the moment.
that's the case? I
No,
thought
his
he
dice,
pressed the
no,
clock.
his dice are still on the.
I thought Fabio was thinking of doubling.
Oh, okay. Well, that might have missed me.
Yes.
Yeah, easy snatch. I'm not sure this is a double.
I think I can understand him doubling because of the score, because now sort of certain sixes for Raj will force him to leave a blot, and as I said before, Fabio needs to catch up in 2s or 4s. But he's taking his time, so it's not an instantly
it's
good
pretty
roll.
ugly.
6-5.
Double 4, I
Double
think.
4, is it
No,
really?
he's had a
Very
double
ugly.
4.
Oh,
yes.
this is very unlucky for Fabio. This is a horrible roll for him.
I had a game like this last night against John Broomfield where he had 3 or 4 double 4s, and eventually he ended up bringing all his checkers round to the 9.
Well, Raj hasn't got a 1 by the looks of
I
things
think
here.
he has. He's
No, he
just-
hasn't. He's got a 4-2.
So he's found a safe play. Fabio's position has reached near collapse now. He's hoping to remake the 6 points. That's
Very quickly.
his best hope.
No, he's not done so.
What's he got here? It must be 3-5 he's got here, by the looks.
So
3-4.
now it's very scary because Raj is holding a 2 cube and he only needs 4 points to win the match. So a gammon could get him home in double quick time.
So I think this is a 4-1, and I've got a feeling he'll. This is a complex move. I'm not.
This is the crucial play of the game. So it looks as though it's the 4 that's the problem here.
Yeah.
That
Once.
he can either damage his board a little or leave some shots in the outfield.
My feeling is he'll maybe play 6-1 here. I don't think he's going to want to offer any shots.
Yes, I think at this score especially, you're going to want a relatively safe play rather than exposing plots. Really, he wants Fabio to play here. Raj would be delighted if he didn't have to move anything. But
Or he could play the one and pick up his.
He plays the big. I mean,
he's looking at it. This is a very strong aggressive play, and he'll love this play if he doesn't get hit by a 4, but he'll hate it if he does. So big roll here.
It's not a hit. It's a 1-5.
And this is
So this is
pretty
this is a
straightforward.
shot.
No shot.
No?
He's got a spare on the.
The blot is gone.
Yeah, he's got a spare.
So now Raj will be looking to
2-1.
remake the
It's not
midpoint.
It's not remaking it, and he's not leaving it either.
So Raj quickly plays 2-1 to tidy up that blot, and then reduce the shot. So Fabio
Yes,
only has
that
12
wasn't
shots.
clear to me. I think Raj is probably right, but he could have split the back point and got some communication with the blot.
Okay, Fabio's hit. So this is big for Fabio now, and he'll be really. So now he's got to look at the return shots that he's going to offer Raj in terms of. So none.
Yep. Oh, maybe double 5. Does that hit? No.
No. Raj is straight in, which is something
Straight
we've
in
seen.
with 6. That's the best thing. So now he's got his 2 hitters ready.
So Fabio would love to see double 3 here, I guess.
He needs to link his blots, bring one
This looks
home
like
or
a
hit.
2-1 again.
So 4-2.
4-2.
He can put that one safe with the 4, and then he's got a 2.
Yes, I like to play this too. I think I don't want to be moving that back checker up and
No,
too many shots.
Rogers' play is difficult, so it's kind of like he doesn't want to leave too many shots now.
And Raj doesn't hit. It's 5-1, I think, in terms of that, and he's going to play it aggressively again.
Well, he's still keeping his 20-point anchor, so
Yeah.
he's going to avoid a lot of gammons this way.
But also with Fabio having carelessly lost his 6 points, his board's simply not as fearsome as Raj's. If Raj can hit, it's all over in a way that it isn't.
It looks
with
as though,
Fabio,
yes,
so-
that one hit will be death. And Fabio's taking his time, so it looks as though he's missed again.
He hasn't got a 5, that's for
I
sure.
think it's a 3-1. So he doesn't even get past another
Wow.
non-passing roll.
Wow. So I think this is right to bring this down. This leads all the ones and 5-2, 4-3. So we're only talking 15 shots.
Yes, and more importantly, it's much closer to home, so if he survives this one, he's got a sporting chance of limping home.
Good roll there from Raj.
1-3 is what Raj is looking for,
Hasn't
which
happened.
hasn't happened. But he's now made that board, so Fabio has to be super careful now.
And there's still a few rolls that don't get him home even from here. That's one of them. That's a 3-4.
Seems
That's
to be
horrible.
finding his worst numbers.
So I think he's just got to run that spare off the 9 point here.
Yes, to avoid the direct shot.
So now he's leaving 7s.
7, so 6 hitting numbers. I don't think there's any other play. Raj is thinking 7, 7, and 7.
And of course he's likely to get another go if he doesn't hit it, because he can still.
Oh, he's
he
hit
has
it. He
it.
doesn't need another go. Wow, that is massive. And now, so Raj is going to be looking for the gammon in terms of this position
Yes,
straight away.
As I said before, that now that he's closed out one checker, we need to look at where the other 2 red checkers are, and he only needs 6 pips to get home with those. So
Not many gammons, but but Raj could probably play this position without playing too much risk,
absolutely,
especially
But,
with the 5 and 4. The 6 and 5 points open on Fabio's board.
yes. But
Wow.
And poor Fabio, to go from the position of being in the lead to have it snapped away from
That
him
double
like that.
4 was horrible for him, wasn't it? Really tough.
this is a position where Raj doesn't really want to take too many risks because the gammon is quite remote.
Yeah,
That's-
very small.
He doesn't want to risk losing the game for some small gammon chance.
Oh, and is this okay? No, this is 5-4.
So it's an ugly distribution.
So Fabio's in 2 minds. He doesn't really want to come in because he may get the shot, but he doesn't want to get gammon at the same time,
Now I think Raj should think about doubling this.
which is exactly what he's doing.
But if he doubles to 4, if Fabio takes and gives it back at 8, is this what Raj wants? So I think Raj should be doubling this and Fabio should be passing.
And we get the shot by the looks of things here.
which is
This is exactly what
yes.
Raj wanted to avoid. And Julian kind of predicted it was.
But it's not death this by any means. Even if he gets hit, he's still got time to come in.
It's
and
a 5.
he does get hit. It's a good number for Fabio, but as you say, the game is still pretty equal. You know, Raj has got a number of checkers off, so he's not going to face any gammons from his perspective. And he's straight in again. Fantastic roll.
Raj sensibly hangs on to the cube there. He doesn't want the cube getting up to 8.
Fabio needs a 1, or he gets the 1.
Now he wants to try and minimise shots.
Yeah.
But he's keeping everything in play.
He's playing it big.
So
And obviously
3 blots.
we're pretty sure Fabio would have turned that cube down, but this would be an absolute nightmare situation.
So Raj is in, but not safe.
So 2 3s, probably Fabio's best roll here.
It's a
He's
1.
got to hit whatever happens, so it looks like a 3-1.
So he's going to hit and near a shot.
Wow.
Well, he has to do it.
Yeah.
He's just going to lose without doing this. At least there's winning chances here.
Raj needs a 6 or a 5 pretty quickly.
Oh,
Nice.
he hits
Get
both.
Take your choice. Fantastic. So Fabio needs 5-1, 6-1. And he's in, which is a massive, that's huge for Fabio. He really needs to get in there, didn't he?
Now Raj needs to think about doubling again. Raj has 13 checkers left, so he's got 2 checkers off.
Must be slim gammons from there.
Yes, what's worrying him is that it's a recube, so if he cubes to 4 when he gets taken, then he's going to see it back at 8 immediately.
Fabio's got the 2
Needs the 2.
to send Raj back again.
I reckon it's coming. No, you can tell by Fabio's
Yeah.
body
The
language.
resigned
There's nothing
slump
yet.
there,
Now,
This is double 3.
now-
This is double 3. So it looks like he'll get off the
Yes,
gammons.
now
pretty-
Raj should be cashing the game.
Yeah.
100% clear.
So yeah.
There we go.
End of game. Raj goes 11-2 up. So now, interestingly, Raj is going to be 2 points away from winning the tournament. So I think we're very unlikely to see any cube action from Raj at all.
Absolutely,
in this forthcoming
but
game.
if Raj is doubling, there's not going to be any contact in the game at all. It's going to be a straight race that he can know exactly what's happening. Whereas many years ago when I played this game, it's the trailer Fabio in this case was very shy of doubling because he didn't want to turn the cube to 2 and give your opponent a chance to win the match. But now we know if you're going to win the game match yourself, you've got to get the cube up to 2 as fast as you can. So any kind of excuse, Fabio should be turning the cube.
But incredibly, still no break.
No,
Remarkable, I have to say. And Fabio's probably quite tired at this stage.
it might
you
be
know.
he's got a plane to catch or something.
So 3-2. Raj immediately goes for the jugular.
But of course, it is one of the unfortunate necessities of tournament play that often you do have other places to be or things to
Yes.
do, and that can put you off your game.
Yeah. So Raj is straight away. He's got some advantage in this game. I think this is a 6-1. Yeah. So he makes the 5 point and splits his back point.
So Roger's got what's a common double 3 formation. If you look at his attack, it's as though he's rolled double 3 on that side of the board.
Nice roll for Fabio there to. Now Raj will be looking to make this anchor as quickly as possible, but not given the opportunity there, and I don't think he's going to slot this.
Must be a difficult number.
3-1, I think, is the roll.
As you say, he'd like to anchor or he'd like to remake the 8 point because that's still part of his prime.
Fabio's going to need a good roll here.
But if we have a look at it, there's 4 Raj blots on the board, and
Yes.
I think Fabio is right to
Take an
to
opportunity.
attack here. That the blots can rapidly turn into builders.
Oh, fantastic. Raj is in with double 1, I think, here. It's only
2-1.
Is it 2-1? clearly the correct move.
Couple of return shots. That's one of them.
So you got the 5-3. This is
2-6.
Sorry, 2-6. Sorry, 5-3 is blocked. So Raj is going to be wanting to make an anchor pretty quickly at this stage. Doesn't want to leave his block, and I don't think he does. Yes, he does. He'll feel better about that.
He'd love to make this 4 point.
Well, I think we're going to see some. Oh, Fabio desperately needed something constructive. I've got a horrible feeling this is 6-5.
There's the 6.
And I guess it's 13-8 here. Oh, 6-2. Yeah, this looks.
Now Raj needs 1, 2, or 9 to fill in the 4
Gets
points.
the 2.
There's a 2, and he's got a 4 to play. Though obviously there were some moves there, such as 2-5 wouldn't have been. Oh,
So good. 2-5 would have played okay, but not great. So Raj has now got his 4 points made in order with a decent anchor on his opponent's board.
Yes, as you say, he's got a better offensive structure with a stronger prime and a better defensive structure with the better anchor.
It's fascinating as well. Fabio, he really needs to take some time over some of these moves now. I mean, he's probably got quite a lot of time on his clock. He's played pretty quickly all match.
Yes.
And
the problem he's having is in games like this, he's just drifting into an inferior position. He's not reacting fast enough to change the tide.
so it looks like 6-1, which would be I think he has to hit here.
Yes.
It's a fantastic number for him. Thinking that he should maybe think about making his 5 point, but I think he has to hit this. Okay, so he's going to have another look, and I think he's going to look at making the. I think this is clearly right.
I'm sure you're right. Yes. As I say, this is changing.
I do have to say, Julian, I now have it on record that you said I'm sure you're right.
Yes. Well, after all these years, Marcus, it had to happen once.
that will be getting transferred to Marcus's famous ringtone.
An aggressive play by the looks of things here.
Well, he's got a 6 and not much to do with that.
So Fabio's actually thinking of doubling. Very wise to take some time to look at it, and probably wiser still not to turn the cube.
Well, I'm guessing he hasn't got double 6 here. He's got an awkward 5-2 by the looks of things. Yeah, it must have been 5-2.
Now, if Raj can get a 2, he hasn't rolled a 2, but that would have turned that blot on his bar point into an asset.
Very aggressive play by Raj again. I think right. Fabio is hitting though. No, he's coming with a 2. I think he's got a 3 to play, which I think he probably just has to play quietly from his 11 point, which he does.
And there are lots of potential breaking numbers here for Raj.
Yes, am I right in saying he can only get out with even numbers?
Yes.
He's rolled them, of course, being Raj.
6-4 is a great roll for Raj. He gets this anchor and some a foothold in the outfield.
Yes, but he's hesitating over this because he's leaving a block this way. And
Absolutely.
He's got some safer alternative if he wants it. He could bring one checker out and one checker in. But
No, in fact, Raj had played. It was Fabio was thinking of keeping again. He's got a 6-1, so that's the 6. He can carry it on for the 1.
there don't seem to be any other ones I can see.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Raj is hiding Fabio's checker there. Yeah, he plays the only one that's available really to him.
And I think the last thing you want to see when Raj is relentlessly taking point after point is this joviality coming across the board at you.
So Fabio is considering the cube action, I think, again here. Sides against it.
And there's just no gammons in this position at all.
fantastic role for Fabio here. Quite happy to leave the 6 shots for the 7 to make that 5 point. And I'm pretty sure we may well see a cue for Fabio this time around, Jules, because of some of the breaking numbers that and
Yes,
Fabio
now he's
immediately
added the 5 points.
So Raj will have a long think about this.
Yes. He's going to be tempted to take, because taking and winning the game will win the match for him.
And the gammons aren't horrific for him here.
No, but I think
There are some.
if we get back to reality and have a look at it, then it's probably largely just a racing position. But
Yeah.
he thinks he's got enough in combination of racing and hitting.
That looks big enough to get safe. Yeah, just safe. Raj will be leaving something. No, he's leaving 2 together rather than 1 at a time.
It's a 6-4 by the looks of things. So Raj is now looking at leaving this checker to be a pain, I think, isn't he?
It feels high risk because if that checker goes back to join the others and Fabio say makes his bar point.
Or actually, he's actually looking at making this point.
Yeah.
I didn't realise the connectivity here. I think this is right, isn't it? It gives him the race opportunity.
Yes. So, how many attackers is he susceptible
1,
to?
2, 3. Only 3.
So I think
Fabio needs something
And
big
that
here.
is 2 of them.
He's hit a fantastic rate, and Fabio will be feeling pretty good about this situation now. Raj would like to come in pretty quickly, and he does. You need to do that in backgammon in these situations. You don't want to be staying on the bar for too long. So Fabio's real key here is to make this bar point with pretty much anything given the opportunity.
Looks like a 2-1.
2-1 is not his best roll.
Double 2.
Double 2. Okay, so he couldn't make that bar, right? He couldn't make the bar. It's difficult without being able to see the switch, but I've got to. So this is 6-3 by the looks of things for Raj.
Where to go?
so. I've lost. There's one on the 11 point, one of Fabio's checkers.
Yeah. So that's his spare on the 11 point. He's got no other spares.
Nice.
So Jules, what's your play here with 6-3? This is quite a big decision.
I think Raj is looking at coming out now. That if he comes out with the 6, it's walking into a double shot. But if he gets away with it, then he'll have a good game. But on the other hand, if he gets hit, he'll be dead. On the other hand, he can play the position quietly and clear the point and get lots of spares to play, but get stuck with one checker back and needing 6 something to escape.
He doesn't know when he's going to get another 6. He's going to need, if he wants to win.
He needs to get out of
Absolutely.
behind that 5 prime for sure.
But how many shots is he leaving? He's leaving
20,
3s and 4s, is it? Something like that?
Yeah. I played this, I have to say, I think this is the move
Yes.
I play.
There's no immediate threat.
Danger.
There's only making the bar is Fabio's
Yeah,
threat. And
double
there's only
3,
half
double
a
4,
dozen
3,
numbers
4,
make
yeah.
that.
But this is
Yeah, double 6.
is this double 6?
No, this is a good number anyway.
Fantastic
for
from
the race.
Fabio's perspective. And great for everybody watching. You know, this match may well continue a little bit longer.
Yes.
It's nearly over a moment ago.
So Fabio's got to leave one indirect shot in the outfield, and he's just working out which way is best in terms of still 2 shots either way, but he thinks this is better in terms of safety if he gets missed.
Oh, and if he'd left the other one, he would have been hit. So Fabio made a great decision there.
Yes, he was looking at how his double 5 and
Yeah.
double 6 played next goal.
But I think that keeping that block as close to the prime was probably the right thing. So you know he doesn't have to 3-1 or whatever.
Yes,
2-1.
that he
can
doesn't
clear up
get
pretty
stuck
much.
there with very small numbers.
Yeah. So Raj, I think, is looking now at the race, isn't he? In terms of if he does come out with this 6-4, does he have some race equity? Which is exactly what he's having a look at. And I think this is quite a score-dependent situation here, isn't it, Jules?
Yes, I think
He's kind
at
of
the
got a
moment
free
he
roll.
thinks he's got some race equity, and if he stays back he'll have 0 race equity very quickly.
I have to
So-
say, I think I would have stayed back. I'm not saying it's right, but personal
I think I
preference.
probably would as well, but I think Raj is working on the basis that if he gets into the outfield, he'll have a small chance in the race.
So this is looking very much like it's Fabio's game, and we'll take the score to 11-4, which is still going to require Fabio to be pretty keen with that cue.
Yes, we were arguing Fabio should be having a break, and now I think is the time to do
Optimum
it,
time,
so
absolutely.
that Raj can stew on the fact that he's not unbeatable.
Okay, so this is an important move here for Raj. And Fabio's just going to quietly move on with this game. So I suspect Raj will play on for a roll or two without sort of worrying too much what the consequences are at the stage. You can roll some double sixes and double fives, make life exciting. There's the double five. It kind of helps. He needed double six early on, but it's a good roll. Still needs double six really to spice things up a little bit. Okay, Fabio's done the business, and we're 11-4. I don't think we're going for a break. I think Fabio is going to carry on. He's got the bit between his teeth now, and he thinks he's got the measure of Raj.
I'm going to go for a break. I'm going to go out there and tell them they have to take a break.
I think this explanation that Fabio might be short of time and need to get off might be quite right.
Yeah, could well be the case.
I think it's unlikely that they won't be feeling the fact they've been playing for quite a long time now. Oh no, and
We are having a
about
break.
going to
Hi, I'm Zoe Cunningham and you're watching the London Open 2013, the largest backgammon tournament in the UK.
They've managed a much shorter break than my commentators here, who have not yet returned from their break, so it's just me holding the fort for a while. So a yawn there from Raj, who's obviously starting to feel it. It was good timing for them to both have a break. Raj has made his high anchor again. Obviously he still wants to be avoiding those gammonish games. Oh, hello, Marcus. Come in. Come in. They got back.
It's very cold in here, isn't it?
They've got back on with their play extremely quickly.
Oh,
they had a
they've been
break
very
there,
efficient.
but they've had
So-
the minimum time necessary for a break, I think.
So Raj has got his 5 point here in terms of holding the position. Fabio is this is a big cue, easy take for Raj. You see, he's quite happy to see this cue. He knows he's just got to win this game to win the tournament now.
Again, perhaps Fabio trying to hasten the end.
Which I think, no, I'm sure that's Fabio sees the block and not sure about that double. So this is an awkward 6-5 by the looks of things. And I think I would have been looking at anything else. Double 3 from Raj. This is, and I think he's just going to unstack the 6 points. Oh, okay, no, he's got a spare here, so he's going to bring that round. This is right. So Fabio now has no blocks to aim at, and I think seen this awkward 2-1 again. Seems to be a theme over the weekend. So Raj has got a lot of odd numbers on his mind here. There's a point on this 5 point.
Yeah, he's almost lined up there. I mean, they've all got spare. All his points have spares on. He doesn't have to forfeit any points in order to hit, if he can roll the right numbers.
And I think he's definitely going to hit here loose, probably, especially with this blotting board that Fabio has on his 2 point.
Not a good 4 to follow it up with.
Right, I'm back if you want to.
Julian is rejoining us too. The player with the longest break out of everyone, longer than the players.
So we've seen Fabio who's put a very speculative early cube in here with one block to aim at, but Raj is holding the 5 point, so he took the cube very quickly.
Yes, one of the advantages of taking a break is that you can chat with your friends and they can pick up on maybe something you're doing wrong. So my guess is that the Italian contingent have told Fabio that he's got to get the cube rolling now.
And he certainly did that at his first opportunity, really.
Or it might be they're saying that the plane isn't going to wait for us, so you've either got to win it or lose it quickly.
So quite a tense time for Fabio here now. He wants to get this loose checker round as quickly as possible, and it looks like so it's not an 80s roll here. Probably it's probably a 7, I suspect. So that's the 3, and now he's got a 4 to move. And I think this. Oh no, okay, so it's 3-2 he's got here, which looks pretty straightforward.
Right, plenty of time to entertain himself over the other side of the board.
Slot the 5 point here.
So it looks as though Fabio's got a good race lead, but Raj has got quite a bit of holding here. Fabio's got 2 difficult points to clear, the midpoint and the 11 point, which is 6 away from Raj's anchor. It's usually the hardest one to clear.
So this looks like a 6-4 for Fabio. I think he's thinking about making his bar point here.
Yes, he knows he's got to leave some shots, and he's wondering whether to do it now, to pay now, or to pay later. And this is. So Raj has missed the shot, so Fabio has bought himself time. He's cleared one of his 2 difficult points.
And the key thing was that he cleared the point furthest away, so he can take advantage now, clearing that difficult midpoint. That he had.
Yes, he's got another bridge, another point to land on now. So he's got 3, 4 and 5 combinations that will clear the point for him. So his first step is to strip the point, as he's done, to get it down to 2 checkers. So he's got all these non-doubles working for clearing the point.
Now Raj has a very nice board, so Fabio cannot afford to leave any shots from here on in.
So now Fabio's trying to buy some time.
So it looks like an awkward 6-1 or something. Okay, 6-2 he's got to play. This looks good. So Raj will can't. Okay, so he slots this 6-2. Can play anything else there really.
So this isn't a bad position for Fabio, because he's got these immediate chances to clear the back point, and if he doesn't roll the number that clears it straight away, he should be able to slowly remove the intermediate points one at a time relatively safely.
So Raj is going to whip round that spare correctly here. Now Fabio, he really needs just a nice little number to clear this 11 point. And you can usually tell the backgammon player if they're going to clear that 11 point, they do it immediately, and he obviously hasn't got the right numbers here to do so.
Looks like a 6 for one of them. There you go, 6-5.
6-5, so you can't leave the back shot here. I think this is right, Jules?
Yes, that he's keeping the point closest to the home board, which means he'll have more numbers to play safe next time.
Now Raj has got his 6 prime, so even more important that Fabio cannot leave any shots here at all.
So now he's down to 5-4 in doubles that will clear the point.
Barring double 6, which is not be a good roll for Fabio necessarily.
Only one bad number, I think 6-2, that leaves a shot.
Although that's a 4-3, so he's stripping away at the.
Nothing else to play here.
Yes, can't leave a shot when Raj has got a 6 prime and a hit will win instantly. So this game has gone about as well as Raj could have hoped for. He hasn't had an immediate hit, but Fabio hasn't cleared his point, and it's getting to the stage where if he doesn't roll a double this time, then he's going to be leaving a shot.
That's a double 2.
This is a double. You can see how quickly there that he moved
Yes.
this fantastic
So
roll
now
for him.
he's almost linked the 15 checkers up.
And this makes him a massive favourite now to win this game and to come back 11-6.
Yes, anything except a 2, and he'll be clearing that outside point and starting the bear off.
And so this is where it turns around from having a double that he may not wanted to have made. He'll be happy to take an extra 2 points.
6-2 is his only really bad number here in terms of leaving a shot. And he definitely doesn't get a 2 because he quickly clears that, and great position for Fabio now. He's only going to have one number that he wants to avoid next time round, which is going to be 6-5.
Yes, and this kind of position has changed a bit with the computer, and previously we always used to strip the 6 points as fast as we could because it leaves less shots, but the computer said that...
So it's a 1-4 for Fabio, so this is quite an important decision in terms of hitting
right,
it
so
or
he's
not.
got a choice to hit or not.
It looks like a 5-2.
Ah, 5-2, okay.
Right, so he was forced to strip the 6 points, so now he's got a bad 5-1 and 6-1.
So 4 bad numbers.
4 bad numbers, 11 shots, 44 hits and 12.96, so just over 3%.
And so that's
It's
suddenly
cleared.
gone now. So we're pretty much looking to 11-6 a lead to Raj.
Yes, very little chance for Raj in this race, probably 5%, something like that.
Interesting, Fabio's just won a game after a break.
Well, the whole conversation about taking a break is very interesting because it's one of those things that players forget they have control over it. It is within, their choice to say when they'll take a break, and you'll see the more aggressive players who are more in control of, maybe aggressive is the wrong word, but the more assertive players will be taking the breaks when they want, and that is an advantage.
So Raj will just get off the gammon here straight away and probably play on for a roll or two. You never know what the dice gods have got in store for you. Fabio won't be worrying too much about what happens now. And mentally, both players have probably moved on to the next game.
Yes, they're kind of going through the motions at the moment, and when Fabio wins this one, that will take it to 11-6, which will still give Raj a comfortable 5-point lead, so it'll still be about 3-1.
So Raj has resigned, and we move on to the next game.
And I've got some bad news for people who are watching at home. We've overrun our streaming time here on the London Open, so this is the last game that will be streamed. It may be the end of the match if Raj can take a double and win 2 points, but if not, the results will go out on Twitter, so do keep checking, and also they'll be on the London Open website, londonopenbg.com.
So for the first time, we've got some real pressure on Raj
Yeah, exactly.
to finish the job in hand this game. So straightforward.
Was that a 2-1 for Fabio?
It looks like it. I
Yes,
think I
it's-
would have been looking at slotting here.
He should be
65.
slotting when he's a long way behind. That leads to more gammonish
But he's
positions.
shown that he's got a 3-1 next roll, so
No need to slot if you're going to make the point automatically.
so Raj is going to just split and bring one down. Straightforward move here.
So now the game's kind of evenly poised, that Fabio's got his 5-point, Raj has got his 4-point, they both split their back checkers. Fabio has a slightly better point, but more importantly, he's got the initiative, he's the one who's got the roll at the moment. But he's hesitating, so it's not a great roll.
Two for Raj. He's already made his 4 points, so
I think it might be double 2.
okay, so he's going to hit here. And Raj is in the position where he's gammon go in this position. He knows
Yes.
that without a double in operation, that he's looking to win 2 points if he can here.
Yes, his ideal scenario, as you say, is to win an undoubled gammon, which gives him a chance to win the match without losing too many points.
I'm not sure that I like this play from Fabio. I think I might have been looking at coming off the anchor at the back here.
Yes,
Raj is taking advantage of that by
sitting on the 24 point is a strategy that's almost doomed to failure. So he's got to do something about that sometime.
So this is a fairly reasonable roll for Fabio, just quietly making the 3 point. Raj would quite like to make his opponent's 4 point here, so but he's going to.
Yes, it's a good play by Raj, because it's not a great anchor, the 2 point, but it's better than Fabio's anchor. And once he's got an anchor, it removes a lot of the gaps from the games.
And Fabio's opportunity to get that cube in action.
Yes.
So Fabio looks like he's running out with a 6-4 here.
Yes, I think this looks
Looks
clear.
right,
He
yeah.
sees the opportunity. He doesn't want to get stuck on the 24 point for the rest of the game.
Raj has
6-1.
missed him.
Yeah.
It's too difficult 6-1.
I don't like the hit on the ace point here. But
I don't see anything else.
But it is the only option, as you say. And so Fabio's having a look at this in terms of doubling the position. He's got what 11, 12, 13 shots here, all the ones and 5. No, sorry, only the one. So he's going to double this. Raj quickly takes because he again knows that if he wins this game now, he doesn't need that backgammon opportunity.
Yes, so now Raj can change his strategy, and he doesn't have to try and win a gammon, as you say. He just needs to win the game.
It's another double 2.
It's a double 2 for Raj, is it?
Well, he's embarrassed with riches
This
here.
is
This
fantastic.
is his perfect best roll. So one option is to hit and cover the blot on the ace point. That's the best aggressive play. Or the other thing he really wants to do is to move his back anchor up.
I got a feeling that Raj will definitely be hitting here. I proffer that one of these twos will be a hit.
Yes, well, the hitting requires 1 2, and the coming up requires 2 2s, and the covering requires 3 2s.
And
so
this is
he can't come up and cover, so hitting has got to be one of his options. So he's looking at the hit and cover, or it could be the hit and come up.
I like this play.
The play would be clear if he was getting paid for his gammons,
Yes.
but he's not getting anything for his
Oh,
gammons.
this is a fantastic roll for Fabio. He's in with
Yes,
a 5-3.
one of his top 4 rolls
Yeah.
that enters both the checkers.
Now Raj is going to be wanting to hit these 2 blots.
Double
is this
3.
double 3? This is massive.
And now we expect a switch
Switch,
from Raj.
yeah.
Yes, so now he's got 2 on the bar against a 5-point board. And Raj's big problem here is extricating those 2 back checkers. That's the only thing now between him and winning the
So
title.
only 2 or only 5 here. He'll be wanting to get. Is this double 4? This
It's
would be
6-4,
horrible.
so
6-4
he's
is a
not
horrible
out.
number for
Yeah.
him.
So he's trying to see how he can diversify his hitting numbers on the 6 point with his escaping numbers.
So 1s and 3s he can hit with, but he can't escape with. And I think he'll
So 6-4 still the bad numbers if you can roll them again.
just double 3.
It's 3 and a 4.
3 and a 4 again. Not a good roll for Raj particularly, but it's not a bad roll either. Fabio desperately needs some 6s now. Raj needs 5s and 2s are at a premium for Raj now. Doesn't want to see
Taking
double
for
4. Double 4 is his worst number here.
Double 2, not bad. Double
This
2
is
is not
pretty
bad.
good. So
That's
now
half the job done
yeah.
of getting out.
So now Raj has got 3s, 5s and 6s to escape these final 2 men. And Fabio is looking in a little trouble.
Now any opportunity Raj has got to get those back checkers
There's
moving.
6-1, wow.
Might look risky, but he's got to do it
He's
while,
got to hit
while
this, yeah.
Fabio's on the bar. So that's a very good play by Raj. Deliberately exposing the block, taking an extra risk, but just to buy time to get his back checkers out.
Fabio needed this
Exploiting the
6
fact
there.
he's got a 5-point board to a 3-point board.
That's right.
Now Raj will probably be picking up his block and
He'll
just
be
playing
saving it very
safely.
quickly, yeah. And Fabio needs double 6, I would suggest now.
He needs it now or last time.
And there's 1-6,
There's A6, there's life.
but it's pretty slim for Fabio at this stage. Raj gets a 6, which is fantastic news because he gets this blot out. Now he's looking really, you just want to check that no double 6s hit here, which they won't.
Well, he's found a clever play that duplicates the 3s, I think, so he's leaving 6-3 in 2
He's
places.
only got 1 on the bar now, so yeah. Clear duplication there. Oh, he's in with the 6, so this game isn't over yet. I think maybe it is a 6-3, fantastic.
The best roll.
Yeah, Fabio
Double
in,
six,
the
this
game's completely different.
Absolutely. Fabio now looking ready for 6-1, 6-2, 6-4. And he's got the 3. This is fantastic.
So the game has completely turned round, and it looked as though Raj was just about to secure the 2 points he needed to win the match. But now it looks as though the game is lost for him, barring some big change.
Now what's really, Fabio must hit this block now that's been exposed by Raj pretty much with any roll. And he's got a fantastic number 4-1, which is...
He can't play too wildly because Raj still has
That's
this
a
5-point board, so he's still outboarded.
Except, of course, while he's making his points in order, Raj may not be able to keep his board.
Yes,
If he enters.
This looks like maybe
he's made a 5 prime now.
2-1.
So he's got to compromise between trying to win the gammon and making sure he wins the game. He's just about got the game sewn up now. So I think he should be hitting loose if he can keep his 5 prime. I think that's kind of the compromise that between aggression and safety.
So if you can't hit loose here, he needs to be getting these checkers into the action area in terms of being able to either make his 6 prime, but more importantly, I think to hit this loose checker
yes,
on the 2
but
point.
he's got to compromise because he's trying to protect against Raj's 2-6 and get some coverage if one of the checkers swoops out.
I'm not sure that I like this move.
No, he doesn't seem to have a good 3. He's kind of got to put 2 checkers at the same place, and that reduces his coverage.
Raj fans again with a 6-3. Now Fabio wants to see a 5-4 or double 5 or 4-2. So he hasn't got any of those rolls.
He's got a 2-1.
Yes, and I think he should be hitting loose here. But, he doesn't want to give Raj the chance to anchor on the 2 point.
And Raj doesn't. I've got a feeling he may be concentrating on trying to make a 6 prime, which is again not the game plan.
Yes, I mean you've got to weigh up the chances here, and I think he should be hitting loose despite the strong board. Because even if he gets hit back, Raj still has to bring another checker in, and then he's got to roll immediate 6s. So Raj is pleased at all these extra opportunities to roll the 2, but displeased that he's not getting any of them.
Now we must see a hit. I think this is a 3-1. And he's gotten so much opportunity to make this 2 point if he hits and Raj fans.
Yes, it's very important in these positions that you actually assess each position you get to, rather than get into a rut of saying, this is a position I'm going to play calmly and just develop. Because sometimes you've got enough firepower there that you want to change plan and say, okay, now I should be hitting. And that's what he's doing. He's decided on the loose hit correctly.
So Raj needs a 2 pretty quickly here, and he doesn't get it. So we're seeing again here swinging against Raj, so we'll be making a 2 point with pretty much anything here, which he's done.
Yes, now he's maximising builders with the 1 point.
And he's got his 6 prime in position.
And if he manages to close out 2 of Raj's checkers, then he's meant to have about a 40% chance of winning the
6-5,
game.
fantastic roll for Fabio there.
And winning a game would take him back up to 10 points.
Yeah, it would take 11-10
And right
and the
back in it.
game right on. Yeah, absolutely. We're into a 3-point match with Raj 1-0 ahead.
Well, as I say, it's by no means certain he's going to win a gammon
No.
here. But, he should be playing the position
Pretty
relatively aggressively. I mean, Raj still got a 5-point board, so it's not to be sniffed at.
He needed to look at that a little bit longer.
That
He's,
was a very aggressive
yeah.
play. He's taken 2 off, which is good, but left a lot of bad numbers.
But this is a good roll for him. It gives him some flexibility
Yes,
again.
but he's still got bad numbers. Any 2 big numbers are going to be a big problem for him. 4, 5, 6 combinations.
Really wants to see a 3 come out of here, which is he gets that's
Gets
fine.
a 2, so he plays safely.
Raj is getting. He's got the 6, so this reduces the gammons massively now that Raj has got one of his checkers in. Is this double 1? I think it may be. Fabio needs to be careful not to get too
Creative
carried
here,
away
yes.
with this position. I think it's 5-3 here.
So what's he played?
He's played 5-4, and now
I think he should take 1 checker off here.
and then play 5-3, won the last spare.
Yes, so that doesn't leave that many shot numbers. The doubles are safe now. There's only 6 shot numbers.
And he's only got 10 crossovers.
And it's the odd checker that he's got off, so he can clear this in the 3 doubles.
Lovely roll from Fabio's perspective. After one of the big doubles, it was his next best roll, really. And it looks like Raj is in. So Raj has now got 6 crossovers to save the gammon, and Fabio's got 8 checkers to get off.
But Fabio's a short crossovers. He's not going to miss.
No.
And Raj has got problems with small numbers.
This looks, but he immediately brings out a big number with 6-5, which is a great roll from Raj's point of view. So he's now down to 4 crossovers to save the gammon.
But it's still a bit difficult because that doesn't look a good play, because now any 2 is not going to make a crossover for Raj. So any 1 or 2 is going to cost him a crossover.
Fabio just takes 2 checkers off there, leaving 4 to play now. And as you say, the 2 come straight up, Jules, and so he's only going to be able to make 1 crossover out of this. And you can see Raj's frustration immediately there. I think Raj realised his mistake just after he made the roll, actually, there, Jules.
It's not a big mistake, because other rolls he's going to gain from,
but it's a big swing from Raj's point of view, from being 11-8 ahead to 11-10 ahead.
Oh, and it didn't matter because
Yes, the
Fabio's
score
rolled
is
a
going
double.
to hurt.
So it's 11-10 and it's all to play for.
And we are living on borrowed time here. We're going to watch just one more game.
So anybody could actually win the tournament in this next game with a cube.
yes,
in action,
it's
essentially.
important to readjust at this stage, because now you're moving from a long match to a short match. Basically, Raj is 1 up in a 3-point match. That makes him about a 60-40 favourite. So normally at this score, the leader is still a little shy with the cube. He'd like to win an undoubled gammon, or he can double and try and win a single game for 2 points.
But he'll understand, obviously, the moment he if Raj doubles, then if Fabio's taking, he'll be recubing him immediately.
So 4-1 for Raj.
It's a double 5, which is a blitz play by Fabio. And I guess if we get a fan here, which we don't, we might have seen some cube action, but that's a good roll for Raj.
5-6 enters and hits.
And here we see the problem with the early blitz position when it doesn't work, but Fabio's position is slightly compromised here. This is a great roll for Raj. It looks like he rolled a 6-2 there to make his 8 points. Fabio's problem now is his lack of ammunition in terms of the blitz.
Yes, the other thing is he's lost his 8 points, so he has difficulty getting his checkers from the midpoint down. He's got a good defence now. Now Raj shouldn't be shy of doubling at this score. Although if you get taken, your opponent's going to give it back to you at 4.
I don't think Raj will be doubling any time too soon in this situation. My feeling is Raj may want to keep the volatility down for a long time at this stage.
Yes, although it's tempting for Fabio to take and give the cube back for the match, that if he passes, he's only trailing 10-12 Crawford, so he just has to win 2 games. So he needs to win 25% of the games to take, which is actually slightly more than for money, because he doesn't get any recube leverage. Whenever he gets the cube, he gives it away immediately.
So this is a nice roll for Raj. He's rolled 5-3, he made his 3-point and put Fabio on the bar. And Fabio dances. This is quite painful for him, and Raj has dropped a die there. He's away.
So Raj has got a nice option here. He can play on for a bit and see if the gammon materialises, or keep an edge in the game in all phases. So this is a difficult number. He's obviously worried about having to expose a blot.
And doesn't want to leave that blot on a 3-point, which is one of the numbers that Fabio would have found on and been able to use to hit if...
No, that was a little tentative by Raj. that he wants to keep his spares in front of the points he hasn't made.
So we'd like to see some 2 here. It's a 5-3, so I think he's probably going to just slot.
Yes, he wants to keep a spare on the 8 point because of this bad 6-1.
But he had no
Yeah,
no
no,
option
the
there.
6-1 isn't fatal. It can clear the 9 point here.
So Fabio's going to get rid of this block Roger's aiming at and slot the 6-5. Looks right to him.
So Roger's got some advantages here. With that Fabio has got the more backward anchor, which is to his detriment.
There's the 6-1 you just spoke about, Jules. So Raj's position's got a little bit brittle now.
Yes, he's run out of rolls that are going to clear the midpoint naturally. He's got to rely on doubles. But he's got another edge in this position, that Fabio's board is a bit of a mess. It's not as though a hit is going to be an instant loss.
And is this a 4-2? I think it probably is. And so Raj is going to try and keep those spares, keep the flexibility. So he's kept that spare on the 8 point, so he's got some flexibility here.
Well, it's the 6-1 is very bad for him
Yeah.
if he loses that spare. It's a lean shot.
So Fabio now's tidied up his board pretty well. He's got a 4-point board with 2 checkers ready to try and make that 4 point. Looks like Raj has got another difficult 3-1, so he's going to keep with the game plan of keeping that spare on the 8
Yes,
point.
the 2 key points Raj should be watching for are the 8 point and the 2 point. That he wants to get the spares on the 8 point because that's how he moves them down from the midpoint. He doesn't want a bad 6-1, but he wants to stay off the 2 point because most of his 6s will force him to go to the 2 point eventually. So he doesn't want to pile all his checkers there.
So he's quickly played that 3-2. Fabio had a 5-1, I think, there, so he just slotted.
Yes, Fabio maybe is causing himself some problems by keeping the midpoint for too long here because now he can't clear the midpoint with 1s, and if he rolls anything with a 1 he's probably going to have to start going deep in his board.
And there's 1.
And he would have had the advantage of just having 2 checkers holding a number of Raj's checkers in position and having that flexibility to move forward, as you said.
Yes, I have a general rule about these positions that when I play, the computer always says you should clear the midpoint one roll sooner than makes sense.
Okay, so Raj is quite a nice position. I think he's got a pretty decent, got a bit of a race lead here, I think, as well. Although I think the race will be reasonably close. So Fabio's going to make his 6-point board. So Raj really doesn't want to see any awkward 6s here. And I guess double 4 is no awkward 6s. So I think we're probably going to see a cue from Raj potentially.
Yes, Fabio
next roll.
needs a big double to
He needs
stay
a double
in the
6
game.
really there.
So it's 9 pips, and I don't think that's enough.
No.
I think it should be double and pass now.
So Raj is going to do a quick pip calculation here. He's probably already counted his own pips while Fabio was making his move. Now he's just calculating what Fabio has got. So
Here
Raj
it
does
goes.
double, and we get a pass. So
Fabio says no straight away.
so we're now Raj is just 1 point away, and
It's
we
the-
hit the Crawford game.
Yes, crucially the Crawford game. It's the one game where no players allowed to double.
So Raj's equity now goes back up to 75% in
Absolutely.
this situation.
And he knows he gets to play 2 games provided he doesn't get backgammoned on this one. So this gives Raj a bit more freedom now. He's not worried about losing a gammon on this game, so he can now play more aggressively.
And this is a 4-1. I think we'll probably hit it. I may well see a
If it's
double
4-1,
hit, yeah.
we should see the
Yeah.
double hit. Yes.
That's exactly what Raj
This
does.
is a tempo play. It's the idea is so that Fabio's blot on the 9 point becomes exposed to a few shots in this exchange of hits rather than a builder to make it in a point.
And that was a bad roll for Fabio. He didn't want to You would have liked to have seen a 1 to hit.
Yes, you want to roll a 1 and you don't want to roll a
And this
6.
is an interesting play by Raj. Very aggressively played this.
Yes, it's a pure play. He's going for the points he wants, irrespective of the risk.
Fabio very unlucky there not to hit a shot. And I suspect Raj is going to make his board. Oh, is this a 5-4? This is a difficult roll.
This is probably his worst roll.
And I think he's going to have to make his ace point here.
Yes, despite the fact that it looks very ugly to us, the computer has taught us that we should make the ace point. Once you put one block there, you don't want to have it exposed later on.
So Raj is really calculating if he plays 13 to 8 here, or if he clears the spare. Okay, or if he hits. This is an interesting play. I mean, it's a play I miss a lot myself in these situations. I don't know that I can make this play, but what's your feelings on this?
I don't think he should make the play at this score, because he doesn't want any gammons. It would be nice, you know, if you do the money game where you get paid double for winning gammons, but here he gets paid nothing for winning gammons. So
he's looking at keeping that flexibility.
I myself would be playing 11 to 6.
That would have been my play.
13 to 8 might well have been better.
Yeah. But Raj, as we know, he's a pretty aggressive player. He doesn't.
And Fabio has found everything
Wow.
has worked out as Raj wants.
2-1, I think we got there. So he covers that blot
Quickly
over,
covers the blot.
as if it was never there in the first place.
So I mean, the thing to understand from this is
5-6 for Fabio. Great roll.
ever since Raj made that double hit with the 4-1, that Fabio hasn't been able to use his builder on the 9 point to make a point. That he's been tied up entering checkers from the bar, and pretty soon we might well see that 9 point blot being sent back.
So Fabio's in with another 5-6 and hits Raj and sends another checker back. But Raj still has a 3 point board against Fabio's 1 point board. And this looks like a 3-1, 3-2 even. Another great roll for Raj there. Happy to make the advanced anchor and bring down the spare and hit the loose checker at the same time.
Little joke there from Raj again, saying he was going to get hits with another 5-6.
This looks pretty straightforward to me for Fabio. Ace double 4, fantastic roll for Fabio.
So he comes in, saves his outfield blot, and makes the final point. So big edge to Fabio now, I think. 4 checkers back behind a growing blockade.
So interesting, isn't it? You know, literally what sort of an hour ago Fabio was almost done and dusted in terms of this. Raj has almost got his hands on the trophy, and all of a sudden, you know, Fabio he's got a great chance here.
He's got a couple of games to go.
He's got a couple of games to go, but he'll be feeling a lot better about life now. So this is a interesting 6-4 here. He can't move his back checker out. Is it a 6-4? And
This looks the right
Like,
idea,
yeah,
that he should be sending more checkers back behind his blockade.
and he brings the builder down, which is only going to be hit by Raj's. And Raj doesn't hit. So this is a massive swing. Raj only had 4 bad numbers there, double 6, double 5, and 6-5, and managed to find one of them, and he's getting another checker back here. So this is 1-2 by the looks of things. I would have maybe, I'm not sure about the 2 here, Jules, I think.
There didn't seem to be any other great twos. I mean, it was a great shot by Raj. He's coming with a double 4.
Wow, this is huge.
Brings 2 in from the bar, points on his opponent.
Massive swing there for Fabio, who's looking really quite comfortable in this game until that double 4. Probably Raj's best roll.
Yes.
So Fabio's in with a 5, and it's the 5-6 again. We've seen this repeat several times in this situation.
But he can't safety the
He can't.
check
So
on the 9.
Fabio's got 6s and Raj's got 6s and 5s to hit this spare blot. I think he does both numbers again.
Well, this looks a good play
Yeah.
by Raj coming into the outfield. But he's got this home board advantage of 4 points to 2, so he can afford to take a few risks with his back check. If
Fabio.
the exchange of hits will be in his favour.
So Fabio's fanned.
Demonstrating the strength of Raj's board there.
So he's just going to try and quietly get these back checkers out without exposing too many shots for Fabio if he is lucky to find a 5 or a 2. But he is favourite to come in here, Fabio. But he needs to come in pretty quickly, I would suggest now. And he doesn't again. This is looking very good for Raj now. Double, so this is huge.
His best, yes.
Yeah,
and
this
now
is
he's got
huge.
the last 2 checkers out. He's got a massive race lead as well, but still quite a bit of work to do to get his checkers home.
Fabio's put a fantastic fight up in this match. He's been behind the 8 ball pretty much all the way through.
He's rolled a 5-6. He's come in and he can lose a lot of contact if he wants to, but he's a bit worried he's going to be a long way behind in the race if he does it.
I think he's a long way, not a long way. So Fabio's now counting. I think he must be behind in this race. But one of the advantages of Raj is, in terms of this race, he does play the 5. I'm not sure about this 5-6. I think I may have wanted to stay there a little bit longer.
And it's a double 5 from
With a
Raj.
quick
Wow.
look, it looked as though the race was about level. So
maybe a good play by Fabio.
yes.
Although of course Raj now has to clear this point.
So Raj, that double 5 has given him back the race lead substantially.
So Fabio's going to be looking at making his board now and trying to keep these 3 checkers of Raj's back. So Raj will be looking to try and whip this spare checker round. Which is exactly what he does.
Well, he's tried double 5, double 6, and there's still a few doubles left that he hasn't tried yet.
So Fabio should. So he's got a 3. I guess it's a 3-2. I'm not. Yeah, I think maybe it's okay. And Raj is going to now have to try and conserve his 6s a little bit for a little while here.
So he's looking for double 1, 2, 3, and 6, and those are the numbers that work for him.
Very well indeed, yeah. So I think Fabio's probably going to make the 3-point here, I should say. Raj is desperately looking at this. Is this double? No.
Double 4, not the right
Double
one.
4. Now this is not a good number for Raj in terms of 6-5.
No, so he's made the most of it. He's still got a 5-point board.
Fabio wants to be ripping the spare down, which is exactly what he does. This is probably 6-3 he's got. I think this is right. Yeah, he can't play any other 3.
Another chance for Raj at the double 3
Double
or
1,
double 6.
double 2, double 3, double 6. Come on, Raj.
It's a double 1.
Wow, that's a
great
big
race.
move. That's a big move.
He's moving in the right direction.
Absolutely, that was a great move from Raj. You'll be pleased to
Yes.
see that.
So now he's got
Double 1, double 4, double 5, double 6.
but
to-
he's added 4, 5, 4, 6,
Yeah.
5, 6 as well.
So a lot of numbers would get Raj going here, but 3-1's not going to be one of them.
So now he's got to decide.
Back.
He probably wants to keep a 6 outside, and he just wants to decide how to break his board. So I think he should be playing 4-1.
4-1 and 7
and then
to 6.
decide with the 1.
Right.
Does he want to play 8-7 or 5-4 or 2-1? But playing the 3, 4-1 seems to be there in all variants.
Obviously, whatever time he has left now, this is a good use of it.
Well, all the cube decisions are done now, so he can concentrate all his time on checker play. Okay, he's elected to play 5.
Yes, I think that's the play I made.
So this, I've got a feeling he's got a 6 involved because okay, we've got a 5, and Fabio, I think he has to break one of these points with his 5. He can't mess his board up anymore.
Yes, he's looking whether to volunteer some shots to get more in return. So now, as well as the clearing numbers, Raj is in a position where he will only be leaving a single shot if things go badly.
So Fabio's major priority here is to make that 2 point, which he's done. So that was a great roll. Nice looking board from Fabio's perspective now. So come on, Raj, he needs a 4, 5, 6 double combination with those numbers involved. So there's the 6. I guess it's a 6-3. No, it's a 6-1. So he's only going to leave
12 shots.
12 shots, all the 2s and double 1. This is what Fabio. The double 2 is Fabio's killer move here. But he must get a 2 or.
It's not a 2.
No, it's not a 2. So this is looking very much like Raj's game and maybe his tournament. Getting very close now. Raj knows he just needs to avoid double 1 or double 2 here to pretty much shield this game.
Double 2.
Double 2. This is high. This is his worst number. In fact, double 1 would at least cut him down to 11 shots. He's still leaving 12 shots here, but it is really important now. Fabio rolls a 2, or I'm pretty sure Raj will be the London Open 2013 champion. He's hit the 2. This is amazing. Fabio is now suddenly favourite to win this game, and
to win the game and go favourite in the match.
Well, no, they'll be equal in the match.
Equal, right? Yes.
Yes.
He'll feel like a favourite.
He will. No, absolutely.
Actually, Fabio only gets 1 point from this, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So
He's,
Raj will technically be ahead 12 to 11.
I think Raj will. I think Fabio will be happy with this scoreline now after the afternoon.
Wasn't he 7 points behind at
absolutely.
one stage?
I think he's done really well, Fabio, during this game. It's been psychologically a tough game for him. He has never ever had the advantage in this match, and he has fought really hard. And so big.
Perhaps we've been unduly hard on him in the early stages, but he seems to have staged his comeback very well.
Timing is everything in these situations. Looks like 5-1. I'm not sure about this. This leaves some bad numbers for him. Well, it looks like he's managed to avoid those bad numbers. But he leaves some bad numbers next roll, unless Raj rolls. Raj is looking for boxes here. He wants double 6. He gets a 6. 6-5 is his second best 6. So this is
generally these positions. If you stay out, you've got no chance. If you roll double 6, you've got even money, and if you come in with a big 6 like this, you're up to about 10% or something. That wasn't what he wanted coming round.
No, he needed something bigger than that. So Fabio will be feeling reasonably comfortable about that. But he gets the 3-1, which is a small roll, but he still gets 2 checkers off, which is his priority. So Raj is in and checker off. So we've got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 checkers versus 14 here.
So Fabio's
big
3 rolls.
Massive. And so now he's only got 8 checkers, and Raj is looking at some doubles very quickly.
I think it's getting to the stage where it's impossible.
Yeah. So we're going to go to down to the last game. The next game will, depending. If Raj drops a cube, because he'll get a free drop in the next game if he so chooses, which gives him a slight edge. So now we go to 12-1 post Crawford. So Fabio will cube the first opportunity he gets in this next game, and if Raj is ahead in the game, he'll take, and if he's behind in the game, he'll pass. So.
Right, so
very exciting now.
Score right now, 12-11 post Crawford.
And it's coming down to this last game.
Very exciting.
For the £15,000 prize money.
So Fabio's got opening roll.
4-3, splits and comes down. So fantastic roll for Raj, double 1. So Fabio should be cubing this position next, and Raj will almost certainly be taking. Well, he will
yes,
be taking.
Raj has got a hit and he's made the 5 point. This looks like a good play by Raj.
Double take.
Quite often people make the bar point automatically with double 1, but
leaving those return shots. Is this a 3-6? It looks like to me.
So now the cubes have been turned. This is really double match point. This is the very last game.
This is a good hit for Raj. So he's got a 2 point. He's got 2 points made in his board, and he sent one of Fabio's checkers back. Raj just take a little bit of time there. It was a straightforward move.
Well, I think it was a 4-5, so he could have hit either of the blocks.
Okay.
So that's why he was taking his time.
So Fabio's in with a 3-5 by the looks of things. Hits correctly here. Raj's checker.
and technically, of course, at this point they're equal, but Roger's going to be feeling this comeback. You feel like the underdog if you've had your lead stripped away from you.
Yes, I mean, I think especially the last game when he got so close to the winning post, where all he had to do was avoid this double one or double two to get into a winning race.
Looks like Fabio's got a pretty nice 6-4 here to make the bar point. Didn't look at making the 4 point at all here.
No, I'm sure his play is right, that he's got the better anchor now compared to Raja's anchor, and he can hopefully slowly develop the game in his favour now.
So this he's got a 3, 3-4. I think this looks okay.
So now the onus is on Raj to actually disturb the position, otherwise sitting on the 3 point is going to turn out poorly for him. He doesn't have to do it immediately, but he certainly wants to be looking to get off that 3 point before it gets blocked anymore.
5-4 for Fabio. Looks like a 3-1 for Raj here. So he elects just to play this quietly.
A bit suspicious of that move. He certainly doesn't want to be going to the 1 point. I would have had a look at coming out to the 18.
Oh, is this double 1 for Fabio? This will be a big move if it is. I think he should be making...
Well, he's got a choice here. He can make the 5 point, or he can make the 7 and the 9.
I'd like to look at making the 5 point here, just to have a look at it.
He should be looking at it, but that's
Looks
the
very
advantage of 2 blocking points.
Yeah.
There is something about doubles that make you want to move 2 pieces together, and
Yes,
kind
as
of
you
jumped
say,
in there
it's
with
2
moving
lots
the
of
2.
2.
Yeah.
But it's a pretty good position from his perspective. Well, I'm pretty sure this isn't a double. No, it's 5-3. And I don't think he wants to be offering any direct shots at this stage.
That is a double, it's double 4.
So now things are turning out as we expected, that Raj has got stuck back on the 3 point, and his game is suffering as a result.
Well, we know Fabio's not made the 5 point here, which would have been his objective given the opportunity, but he can extricate these two blocks here, and he's leaving only 1-6 and 2-5 in terms of indirects for
Yes,
Raj.
sometimes you can see with the backgammon game how the game works out that one player, and in this case Red, actually gets all his checkers together, whereas the other player seems to end up with his checkers split in half.
This is big for Raj. He's got a double 1, so he's going to have a look at the race now by getting up to the edge of Fabio's prime to see if he wants this advanced anchor or if he wants to keep some contact here. So Julian will do a quick pit count for us and inform us what the race is in a moment. So I suspect Raj
It looks pretty close to the race, just offhand, and strong suspicion that Raj's play is right, because he keeps a lot more racing equity from the 20 point.
And he gets the opportunity for the indirect shots as well.
Yes,
so he's
absolutely.
got 6-3 as a big swing here.
And the other thing I always like is you have a winning number. It's great to be shooting the dice saying I double 6 and I win the title.
Very close. That was a 6-2, I think, from Raj. His heart would have been in his mouth for a moment, thinking he had the 6-3. I think he just need. So Raj will just split these. I think he thought about the crossover.
Point.
So Fabio. So Fabio has a difficulty here. He's got this fantastic prime, but he's going to have to dissemble it over the next few moves.
And he's got to be flexible here. It turns out if he's ahead in the race, he wants to be breaking the prime from the back, and if he's behind in the race...
it's double. Is it double? Oh,
no,
I thought that was double.
6-4.
So it's 6-4. I thought Raj had done it there for a moment.
If he's behind in the race, he wants to be breaking from the middle, keeping more contact.
So this is very nice. So he makes a 6-4 point, not
So now
wasting
we
any
can
checkers.
count Raj quite easily. He's got 90. And Fabio has 88, 96, 100. So small lead in the race for Raj and a small lead in the position for Fabio.
So very, very close still. Both players looking pretty calm still at the moment. This looks... Oh, this doesn't look good for me.
Yes, Fabio seems to be very scared about Raj running one checker out, so he doesn't want too many blocks in his board. That's the way he's thinking.
But he's got great connectivity with this block in terms...
Yes, I mean, you shouldn't get paranoid, because just because your opponent rolls 1-6 doesn't mean he's definitely going to roll the second 6 next time.
So Fabio should be able to cover this block, this 4
He's
point.
played this well because he's got the flexibility of choosing which point to break, and he's choosing to keep maximum points in front of Raj. I'm not sure about that play at all. I think I'd be breaking some point in the middle because he has zero flexibility here.
Yeah.
But
Raj rolls a double 5 and...
if Raj rolls a 6, then Fabio just has virtually no numbers to attack with.
Of course, no pips in the race for Raj rolling double 5.
So this is 5-3. He gets 2 crossovers by making this play. I think it looks...
And has he got 2 blocks in board?
Yeah, he's got 2 blocks on board. So
Raj
Raj will run with
really
the
wants to get
opportunity.
out.
He doesn't get it. Looks like a nasty double 3
Yes.
that crumbles and destroys Raj's board and just wastes his checkers to the 1 and 2 points.
So Fabio is big favourite now. He's got an advantage because if Raj goes out with 1 checker, Fabio is much more free to be able to attack the remaining one,
So
because Raj's board is...
And that was a fantastic roll for Fabio. He managed to get 2 crossovers again and tidy up his board. And he's got a 5-point board now. This is going to get very exciting.
So
now.
what
This is
is it?
Fabio's
1s,
opportunity.
3s, 5s.
1,
Any
3s and
odd number.
5s would probably almost certainly give Fabio a huge chance here. So
5 and a 6.
this,
So
this
he's
looks
got to
right.
hit loose.
Yeah, Raj needs a 5 very quickly, or it could be over. Does Raj? No, he
5.
doesn't. So Fabio's looking major favourite now. Needs a 1 or a 3 to pretty much secure this situation. Oh,
He hasn't got
double
it,
4, but
he's-
this is a very good roll
yes,
from his
yes,
perspective.
He's picked up his blocks.
And he's
brought
now
all his
major
checkers in.
favourite. Raj is going to need some big numbers to pull this situation back.
I think Raj is counting on hitting a shot. That seems to be close to his only way to win now.
I think Raj will be feeling sick already. I think he's
No.
been about to cash this game so many times.
So Fabio needs to avoid some big doubles and 6-1, 5-1 and bad numbers for him here. I think he's got a 3-1, has he? Yeah, so he just takes his checker off. I think you're absolutely right. So Raj's in a difficult position. He kind of wants to see a 5, but he doesn't want to see a 5.
Yes,
he wants to
it's,
see a shot. Is this... No. Wow. So this is
That's
4-5.
just about curtains.
Yeah. So, and Raj is getting very unlucky now. So we're really down to big doubles here to give Raj a hitting opportunity. It's this double 1. This is a great roll.
Yes, checkers off.
And this is almost
completely
now
safe.
Fabio's match and tournament. What an amazing achievement it'll be to win 2. Oh, this is a big roll for Raj. He's got double 5 and gives him some small race equity here. But Fabio is a huge favourite to win.
Yes, it looks as though it's 17 crossovers to 11.
Raj playing it correctly again here, so optimising the opportunity to see some big doubles.
Raj is about 3 or 4 doubles behind here.
So Fabio's down to 7 checkers, while Raj has still got 16
7 or
crossovers.
8 checkers?
7. And Raj
No
is,
double.
so this is what an amazing achievement by Fabio, by the looks of things.
Amazing.
Incredible to win 2
Yes.
tournaments like this one year after another.
2 London professionals, the first London
Well
professional
played,
double
Fabio.
winner,
What a
and that's it.
fantastic game.